I am that nigga. Going to some community meetings and some housing authority meetings. And we're gonna all right.
Better go along.
All right. I'm gonna talk, man. And so here is a recent community meeting here in DC, and it gets good.
Sitting here with us. We used to have your prosecutors in here all the time, but man, we love that. But we know that the staff changes, and we're really looking forward to seeing the new people come through. Okay. So everyone, welcome this evening to our 3D CAC meeting. And of course, we have our community.
3D CAC, whatever the hell she said, it's like a neighborhood, a little neighborhood within a ward or something.
Members here, and then we with him, and we moved this to.
You can see this is Ward 3, which is not near me. Somehow, and you can see what kind of people live in this ward. Must be some diversity there. I'd have to look at the map and see exactly where it is. But I want you to pay attention to this.
Our 6:30 time period, which is okay because you see, hey, look at our community.
Again, this is Washington, D.C. here.
They showed up. So start off, introduce our community, and then we of course, extra just, hi, my name is, and then we today. Okay, Mr. Branham.
Greetings and salutations. I'm in front of you.
Hi.
My name is Robert Vincent Branham, President Emeritus of the DC Federation of Civic Associations and Chairman Emeritus of the 5th District Citizen Advisory Council.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Branham. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Mr. Branham. Next behind you, Natalia.
National Affairs.
Okay, Ms. Anna.
I'm Anna Snev. I'm Talia's colleague. I'm mostly on Capitol Hill. I do government relations and public policy.
Oh, this is Capitol Hill.
And I'm also heard South Committee Manager, and I'm working with EP and leaving Petworth.
Welcome, Ms.
Wait a minute, she said she lives in Petworth. Okay.
Toby. I mean,
Yes, good evening.
Ms. Toby. No.
Of the Washington, D.C. Hall of Fame.
Sure. Train safety ambassadors too. And I see now you all have, now I'm not sure of your names because
Hey John, I gotta hop into church, but I'll be back later.
People with Morgan. So, sir, I don't know you, but it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Williams. Next to you.
All right.
Team member, raise your hand, but it.
So this is Jeanine Pirro from the Trump administration. She's at a DC City neighborhood meeting, and they're going to get to talking about crime and things like that. And tensions are going to flare up here.
And Ms. Holmes, I see. I know. We had to sort of, because the press. We want to make sure the press were getting their due. And
Yes, community liaison for the 930 Club, and I live and work in 3D.
What is 930?
930 Club is a 1,200 capacity live music venue, internationally known, and I'm sorry that you've never heard of it.
Well, that's why I'm here tonight. So
we got one more person, right? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Christy Love. I'm the executive director for the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council.
Okay, Ms. Christy Love, U.S. Attorney.
For the 3rd District Community Outreach Session.
And your colleague next to you.
Hi, I'm Laura Francis. I'm the supervisor of community outreach.
Wonderful, Ms. Francis. Okay, of them right by now. But guess what? We're going to have them introduce themselves. And WTOP.
Jesus Christ.
For the district, Westchester County District Attorney.
we were number one. And interested in. And as part of my to help the people of this district, I think we can, if we work together, make a difference. And you may think no, but that's your call. But my call is to be here and to thank you for having me.
I thank you. I'm really happy and thankful. No, when you come here, questions, and we love to make sure that we embrace everyone so that we can build relationships.
What does this lady have on her head? What the fuck is that? Why they have to have this big ass thing on their head? Yeah, she down in the trenches, man. She down in the trenches, bro, and she about to get it. Like she up on Stanley's pound. She about to get it from these blacks. They don't want to hear nothing about no arresting these people. They want programs. We need programs.
Relationships. We not only do we do that by after we finish our meetings, we have a nice networking session where we'll talk with you one-on-one, but we also try to ask deep questions, especially questions that affect our community consistently. And we work with the office. We've done with the community statements for impact statements for the victims. We've gone through. We had one case that was successful.
Notice they mentioned for the victims, not the criminals.
Prosecuted where someone got 100 years because of our work that we put in. So we really do work with your office to make sure that we get some type of recourse for any of the crimes that's committed. So I want you to know that we've been impacted consistently, but this is the first time that the community has been impacted in this way. But there's a lot of changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the list of, not give you the list, I'm going to ask the questions to you. So Judge Pirro, the community members are concerned about pending legislation that will lower the age of trying juveniles as adults. When your office prosecutes young people from our neighborhoods, how do you decide whether to pursue federal charges versus working with the local juvenile system?
Okay, so what she's saying is, in case you don't know, if you get arrested for like a serious charge here in DC, you're going to federal prison. There is no state prison. Jeanine Pirro is in charge of this. What they're asking her in coded language is downplay the charges so that we can prosecute them under our court system so that they don't get sent off to prison. At least we can keep them around here in jail or just let them go. But if you prosecute them, then they go to prison. And so that's what they're asking, what's the difference between going to federal prison? What kind of cases are you picking up here?
Okay. I cannot, sorry about that. Just so you know, right now we are in active communication with Congress and code reform discussions with Mayor Bowser, as well as with the legislators, with Congress, in trying to effectuate change. The truth is, and I'm sorry I do this, the truth, enjoy yourself. The truth is that there is a great deal of violent crime that is being committed by juveniles. And Title 16 allows us to prosecute only 4 categories of crimes when they are committed by a 16 and 17-year-old. Those are rape 1, armed robbery, burglary 1, and murder. What did I leave out? I left out every other violent crime. And what we're trying to do now is include violent crimes.
So that's what I just said to you, that the blacks have control of the violent crimes that don't fall in the purview of the federal government. Most of the crimes too, as she just mentioned, the ones that the blacks have purview over, they're just letting the criminals go. She's fighting to get those categories included so she can arrest those people and put them in prison too.
Example, you shoot someone with a gun, an illegal gun, the person doesn't die. 17 years old. Do I get the case?
No.
What do you think? 930, what do you think? I don't.
That's the point right there. And so she made it a point to call out the 930 Club lady. The 930 Club was a white person, predominantly affluent neighborhood here in DC, not far from where I do the street interviews. And he's trying to maintain his PC, political correct, liberal clout. And she just hammered home that, hey, if one of these YNs shoot your ass and don't kill you, nothing's going to happen to him. Mr. 930 Club, the club I should know something about. You heard him say, you should know about that club. It's a historic club. She's not from here, New York. Westchester. Yeah.
You remember Judge Jeanine was talking about 8-year-olds with guns and carjacking
Yeah,
in D.C.
yeah. Let me play the rest. Hold on.
The problem is, if he repeatedly shoots people, I don't get him. And the carjackings and the juvenile crime in this district are astronomical. I mean, if the facts are the facts. I'm not going after people because I want to. I go after people based on the data. And the data is very clear. It's the juveniles that are carjacking and torching the cars. I never heard of torching. Okay, I never knew that was a thing. It's not a thing in New York, it's a thing here. So with the repeated violence and the move to family court, because I don't have jurisdiction, you have to say to yourself, what does family court do? The purpose of family court is to rehabilitate and keep the family together. That is the rule. And that means that there is very little accountability in these cases. In fact, I think it was your reaction to the shooting of the intern that got my attention, which is when I said to Beretta, I got to go see those people. That young man, who was 21 years old, Eric Tarpinian Jackham, that young man was shot by two 17-year-olds. Now, I can't say much more than that. But let me ask you something. How many of you think they had a violent juvenile record? Raise your hand. Yes.
Now, what's interesting here is this is a room full of half full of white liberals, and then you got a lot of blacks in there, and she's asking them some very uncomfortable questions. These little kids shooting people. How many of them you think have violent criminal past? Raise your hand, liberal, Mr. 930 Club. Raise your hand. Let me see you tell the truth for once.
You can't repeatedly allow young people committing violent crimes to go to ice cream socials and yoga because that's what they do. The young kid, remember they called him Big Balls? I didn't call him that. That's how he was the Doge kid. He was some brainiac, smart kid who came here. He got the crap beat out of him. He had a severe concussion, a broken nose, beat the hell and back, okay? Most of those kids were 13 and 14 years old. And the girl that was in the car that he was trying to protect, which car was the whole point of the attack, said, I kept looking at them. I spoke to her the next day. She said, I kept looking at them and they were 12 and 13 years old.
12 and 13 or 50. The people that beat up my tenant were 50. The oldest one was 50. She couldn't believe it either.
Banging on the window saying, give us the keys, open the door,
Yeah.
give us the keys. And had the police not driven by at that moment, that kid would have been on the ground and that would have been the end of him. Because he was able to stand up, he was able to withstand the fight. Now, so you say to yourself, does she want all young people? No, I don't want all young people. But I do want young people who are committing violent crimes and repeatedly committing them because it's time to make them accountable. And I am tired, with all due respect, and I know that there's someone looking at me with a mental health or social service background. I don't want to hear about the prefrontal lobe anymore. The prefrontal lobe not being developed in a teen. I've done
Now she's talking about the front of your brain.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, she's literally talking about your frontal lobe of your brain, like they're not even developed. That's where your common sense and courtesy comes from. and common sense your frontal lobe. I can't believe there's like 8-year-old kids carjacking people in Chicago and shit. That's crazy. It's like little kids with guns.
The 12th man, she said she not trying to hear them about their head size. She said she ain't trying to hear about their head size, 12th man. What do you think?
But she's talking about the frontal lobe of the brain, which is where common sense, like they're not developed their frontal lobe yet, you know? She's talking about brain activity, dumb dog.
Oh, Troy, man. Boy, I tell you, they about to give it to her head, boy. I wish that I could hear all this, boy.
For 30 years, this isn't new to me. Okay? When they know there are no consequences, when they know they can continue to commit the crime, when they are emboldened because they can commit it over and over and over again, then we're the suckers and we're the ones. Go ahead. It's my friend over there.
You know, these blacks probably never been talked to like this in their life. Do you understand it? Like, seriously, like, they're blacks that probably, these blacks probably are shocked out of their mind. The liberals, too. They never heard any talk like this. Mm-hmm. My buddy Philippe, I call him up. He used to work for these people, these DC government people. He said, man, they be just focused on the criminals. That's what he would tell me. They've never heard this kind of talk. And they were hearing it from this woman, and she's come to a community meeting. Like, she didn't bring down just, some politicians to talk to. She went to the hood.
Social service. We're not questions. Okay.
We won't be taking questions except from me and the ones that have been sent in. And then hold on. And then hold not
there you go. Told you. When she mentioned that lobe, nigga, them nigga couldn't hold that shit in. That lobe. When she mentioned that lobe. That black that old black man is standing there. He's just standing up in the front. Look at Stanley. He tough guy, Stanley. The lady was like, look, we're not taking any questions right now. And that black man, shit, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. Shit, I'm an apex predator. I get to say what I'm gonna speak my mind. Listen. Watch.
And then hold up. And then hold not excuse me, not sir.
That's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen.
See there? See there? That is not going to happen. OG, he about 60 years old. OG, tell her what ain't going to happen. That motherfucker explode.
Hold up. And then
No, that's not going to happen.
Excuse me, not sir.
That's not going to happen. No, that's
not a YouTube panel with Black Bear and Tough Guy and a couple of the Afro Nerd and Linwood. This Linwood right here, Linwood mixed with Stanley. And he like,
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. You're going to have to hear.
There will be questions from the community.
That's Stanley right there.
I said, not right now. Let me lead my meeting.
please do not disrespect me in my meeting.
Don't respect us.
I am going to.
Jeanine Pirro, lady, sweetie, go on back home. You see what we dealing with right here. You see what we dealing with right here. These folk came, they hop soon they got on the panel. They ready to fight. They on the panel. They on the YouTube panel. They done hit the link. And they ready to go. They ready to go. This is how they conduct business. You understand? This lady took time out of her day. Oh, you can just overlay him standing. And remember what I keep trying to explain to you. Generational. This is an older man. This ain't no young boy. As soon as Jeanine Pirro passed the mic, he was like, go.
John Galt, do you think Judge Jeanine could eventually be on the Supreme Court?
I don't know. But anyway, so let me play a little bit more of this here, and we're going to see the behavior of these people.
Going to be held accountable. She needs to be held accountable. President Trump needs to be held accountable. Okay? He does not go protect. No, you can have a seat, Commander. Have a seat. He does not protect. He does not protect men in blue. He.
Oh, this is good.
Did you see this agenda?
No, I don't know what agenda is.
Did you see this agenda? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, what are we seeing right here? If you recognize this behavior, let me know. What are we seeing right here, ladies and gentlemen? What in the hell are we seeing right here? Somebody said Trump. What Trump got to do? This lady done talked about people killing people. And he said, but President Donald Trump.
Well, John, did you know that Jeanine Pirro is an alcoholic?
Okay.
She's been drunk on Fox News and everything.
All right. We get to that later. Hold your fire. But you see these people, President Donald Trump had nothing to do with this, right? And these people are so hell-bent on fighting the white man that they just overlook all the crime, the violence, and the laws that are creating or perpetuating or exacerbating this. They said, man, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Like, Donald Trump, we can live with the crime and the violence, but we can't live with these white men.
Mr. Branham, I want you to be able to enjoy yourself in the meeting, but I want you to look at this agenda. I want you to look at this agenda.
She doesn't really want to be.
Yes, she does. Then look, please.
That Jeanine got some fire about her, boy. You look at her, is she pulling her man and her finger at that white man? Ooh, that woman got some fire about her. That's a New York City woman, Italian. She stood up to this Negro here, boy. Woo! Have mercy. She went down into the belly of the beast. And she's standing up to this Negro. I bet you I'm the only person on YouTube showing this shit like this. Right? She went down in the belly of the beast and she said, I'm going to stand up to you, Negro. I'm not going to let you bully me when you got children bullying you. The hell you talking about? She stood up and put him in his place. And it goes on for a bit here. Let me hit play.
Look, please.
Because you're here for
Basically, he's saying she don't even want to be here. She said, well, why am I here then?
photo ops and
No, that is not the reason why. That is not the reason why. First of all, I'm not even connected on Twitter. And this is not connected on Twitter. Look at this agenda.
She doesn't really want to be.
Yes, she does. Then look,
Right.
look, please,
Look, you see,
please.
did you see the black lady put her hands on Jeanine Pirro and Jeanine Pirro moved her arm? Watch the black lady's arms. When Jeanine Pirro gets up, the black lady tries to keep her from getting up, and watch Jeanine Pirro slap her arm. Did y'all see this? This is freaking gold right here. This is freaking gold. This is freaking gold right here. I want you to see this. Listen.
But I want you to look at this agenda. I want you to look at this agenda.
She doesn't really want to be.
Yes, she does. Then
Look. You see it right there. You see it? Shit. Oh shit.
Must be that Italian blood in her, John.
There's this spice. There's this spice right there. And she said, wait a minute now. She said, wait a minute. While she got her hand on her arm, she said, wait a minute.
Please.
Please.
Look, please.
Because you're here for photo ops.
No, that is not the reason why. That is not the reason why. First of all, I'm not even connected on Twitter. And look, this is not connected on Twitter. Look, Mr. Branham.
Thrown to the floor and handcuffed.
Okay, Mr. Branham.
Remember, this is about a 60-something-year-old man right here. Like a 60-something-year-old man right here. Let that sink in.
Here comes security.
I really want to be able to let you answer your questions, but if you can't allow me to have my meeting,
if you can't allow me to have my meeting, that sounds familiar.
You already know what's part 2.
Okay. I'm calm, but I'm not going to be disrespected.
But
I'm not going to be disrespected. I wonder where that came from. Did anybody disrespect him?
Well, I don't see how Judge Jeanine was disrespecting anyone. She was just telling the truth.
Well, it's very interesting.
but we haven't even started the meeting. Okay.
Don't do that.
He's 60 years old, at least.
Is that the bailiff? Is that like the security guard trying to calm him down or something?
It's the police. Here he is, right here.
It's a police officer.
Look, this is him right here. Where is he?
He's like the bailiff.
Jesus Christ. This is him right here. This is him right here. Look. Can you see this? It's him right here. See this? It's him right here.
Yeah.
That's him. That's him right there. Look, he's a board member of what? What is this? DC Open Government. I know the name. Look at this. Oh no, he wasn't home. He wasn't home invaded, was he? Was he home invaded? No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, please don't tell me this nigga was home invaded. Please don't tell me this nigga was home invaded. Oh man, please don't tell me he was home invaded. Yep, he was home invaded. Oh no.
So that police officer.
No, he was home invaded. Look, he was home invaded, bro. Look.
A well-known DC community activist and his wife were victims of a disturbing home invasion. And police say it may be connected to a series of other crimes in neighborhoods along North Capitol Street. Here's News 4's Jackie Benson.
My neighborhood is going to...
That's that nickel. That's that nickel. That's that nigga right there. And this was in 2013. He was home invaded by some blacks. And here comes a lady 12 years later to help him solve his problem. He's screaming at her, not the blacks. The homie, let's see what he's going to say.
A crime spurt, and it's a dangerous crime spurt.
This is the window the burglars climbed through Sunday morning. They were in and out of the house in the 100 block of...
What? Is this an ad?
Caregivers like you face big decisions every day, especially when it comes to health care. With a Kaiser Permanente Medicare Advantage plan, you have the security of knowing that your loved one is care from a team of respected doctors and specialists who will work together to deliver high-quality medical care.
The money.
That's a decision you can
I ain't
make.
gonna show this shit on the stream. I showed it again.
Only $13.99 a month you can get ad-free YouTube, but it's like $14 a month.
Powerful memorial on the National Mall.
Thousands
of hand-painted tombstones honoring lives.
See what else he got. And so this is him. He's on the ANC commission here. You can see his name, Robert Branham, right here. ANC commission is like a sub-city council. People that want to be on the city council here. This is him again. Trial of arrested DC voting rights activist delayed. So he must have been in some protest here. And here he is against federal takeover, I imagine. Yeah, this is a council member here.
I thought I told you time and time.
Come on, Nichols. They always got this phone music. Shit.
What happened in that council meeting you were on, John? With Judge Jeanine?
All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
She owes me an apology. You owe me an apology.
Have mercy. You owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. She ain't even supposed to be. Jesus Christ, man, you can't hardly deal with these.
Let me throw him to the floor and handcuff.
Here's my next question. My question is, beyond gun cases in the district court, we've heard you discuss gun cases, right? What other type of crimes is your office prioritizing for federal prosecution in the 3rd District?
Drugs and guns. What? Primarily guns. There are too many guns. There's too much shooting. There's too
many guns.
We convict people of possessing illegal guns. We convict people of possessing illegal guns, and they're not sentenced to any time. The message by the judges is you can keep getting guns. So in addition to that, with what's going on with the juveniles, we take a gun, they get a gun, I don't know, right after. Guns are the biggest problem. That's why the District of Columbia had more homicides than we were the 4th largest in the country. Now, when I was DA in a county of 1 million people. This district has 700,000. You're not even 1 million people. And you've got the 4th highest homicide rate in the country. That's crazy town. And that means that we've got to get rid of the guns. Beyond the guns, drugs. Okay? We are dealing with... Go vote?
Well, John Gold, I just got to say that I think she's way off mark. It's not a gun problem; it's a cultural problem.
Well, it's true.
Gun is just
hold on,
gun is just a tool.
I got it, 12 man. Everybody know that, but she can't go in there and say that, right? She can't go in there and say y'all got a cultural problem. She can't do that, right? Not even the white liberals will allow that. Now, come on, now, 12 man, shit. So she got to go in there and blame the object and say, hey, you got people shooting each other and I can't convict them. I can't punish them. That's all she can say, man. And that's the political reality of the matter. So that's what she's saying. So now, but what's more fucked up is how these people respond to it. Because they could say, okay, yeah, get all the criminals off the street with guns. Because you can legally carry a gun. Okay, just get the criminals off. Maybe that's a good start. But she can't even say that without these people jumping in her ass. That's the problem. You understand?
Well, now I don't want her on the Supreme Court.
Well,
she's gonna blame a fucking tool.
Well, I mean, she
knows
it's not the tool, but she can't go in there and say, "Hey, it's you people shooting each other." She can't say that in front of the damn people. Hell, you see how they're responding right now. She ain't even blaming anybody. They would jumped on her ass before she even said anything. So she got to tread lightly. You know, you got to know your audience. She knows her audience, so she's kind of tread lightly. That's just what it is right there.
Well, I think people need to start telling the truth, regardless of what that truth may be. It's not the goddamn tool. It's the person that has the tool is the problem.
Right. You said that earlier. So look, Pulsar Echo, shout out to Pulsar Echo. I think that's Euro, $2 man. Thanks for the support, man. New sub showing support, John, man. I really appreciate that. Let's play a little bit more here, and you can see the crowd. Again, they don't want to address any of the crime that she's talked about and how her hands are handcuffed by this crime. They want to jump on her ass by voting things that have no effect on the crime.
No vote. Okay. Beyond the guns, we've got drugs. We've also got domestic violence. We've got robberies. We've got grand larcenies. We've got the carjackings, all the violent crime. The federal crimes that we do are crimes that involve terrorism as well as civil crimes. My office is the largest in the country, and that's because our jurisdiction spans civil, criminal, federal, local, misdemeanor, felony, appellate, special proceedings. We do everything in the office. And unfortunately, we're down 74 prosecutors. I'm down 150 paralegals, legal assistants, as well as investigators. So it's very difficult for me to do. Why?
Look, you can't keep interrupting. She about to get on the ass.
Why are you interrupting me, sir?
Why are you interrupting me, sir? Bro, I promise you, these people have never been talked to like this in their life. Probably in their whole adult life, a white woman talking to them like that. It would have been even worse if it were a white man. But they can't control themselves. Listen.
Because you're lying to us.
You lying.
I'm lying.
Yes, you are.
Don't stop. Do it again, you're going to be asked to leave. Stop it. Okay? That's your last warning.
Why am I being warned to come to this? What?
Stop.
Why I be warned? That's Stanley. Somebody got it. Ring. Yeah, Hella Haynes. She got him. And then Stanley right there. Hella, are you just not getting here? Don't make me rewind it. I just remember I rewind it for you. Do I need to rewind it where he immediately jumped on her ass? Helen. I gotta rewind it for Helen. I remember where I stopped at. Look. Where did she put that mic down? When she gave that woman that mic. That's about right. Let's see. Is it about right? It's gotta be about right. Let's see. Here it is. Now it must be up a little earlier. Okay, here it is. Shit.
Also try to ask deep questions, especially questions that for the so we really do consistent styles as a active commander prosecute every time.
This Stanley on steroids right here.
And the ones that have been sent in, and then hold up, not
no, that's not gonna going to happen.
Excuse me, not sir, sir.
Karen, that's not going to happen.
What I'm saying.
No, that's not going to happen.
I'm still
Okay?
asking her questions.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
You're going to have to
More.
hear
There will be
questions.
questions from the community did you not see the agenda? I said, not right now. Let me lead my meeting. Please do not disrespect me in my meeting.
Don't respect us.
Don't
I am going
If you're going to be held accountable, she needs to be held accountable.
Need to be held accountable.
President Trump needs to be held accountable.
President Trump needs to be held accountable. But what about the church shooting people? I don't give a damn about that. I came here to holler and scream at this woman. Fight Club.
One comes in what? Stop.
Because normally in our meetings, we listen to people, we respect them.
That's pretty gay. That's pretty gay, John Joe.
Look,
hold on.
I'm lying.
Goddamn.
And legal assistants as well as investigators. So it's very difficult for me to do. Why are you interrupting me, sir?
Because you're lying to us.
You lying.
I'm lying.
Yes, you are.
Do it again, you're going to be asked to leave.
We're gonna put you off the panel if you do it again.
Okay? That's your last.
Why am I being one comes in what?
Stop.
Because normally in our meetings, we listen to people, we respect them.
Normally people don't come in and lie like
Stanley, he done flew up DCK to city council meeting. A little Steve brought Linwood with him. Half Stanley, half Linwood.
Whatever they decide to do, we do listen to them, okay? And we never interrupt them. And I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Branham, you know good and well how I behave. And you know I would never come to your meeting to do that. And I do not.
I would never get up on your stream and do that, Mr. Branham. But he can't do it.
How I behave. And you know I would never come to your meeting to do that. And I do not like the fact that you did that here. And you know that
I want coming to me and be lied to.
Yeah, I'm like, come to me. He just can't let it go. I've been lied to over here. I can't let a lie go. If I got to destroy this whole damn meeting, I destroy this whole damn meeting. I'm being lied to.
Being disrespectful and being disrespectful.
Okay, without being
kicked out.
Threatened.
Okay.
This is
So
public meeting.
look, and that's why you should have relaxed.
You have to go.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me, no. Don't touch me, no. Have mercy. This man is 60-something. A pillar of the community. Yes, he is. I've shown you he's a pillar of the community. He's on board. He's board members. This is he's on the ANC community where my mother lives. Don't touch me, nickel. I would not come to your meeting to do that.
Well, that big fat.
Come on, talk, man.
Being disrespectful and being disrespectful. Okay,
without being kicked out.
Threatened.
Okay.
This is
So
public meeting.
look, and that's why you should have relaxed.
You have to go.
Don't touch me, nickel. Don't touch me. Ooh, that was beautiful right there. Oh, have mercy. Oh, have mercy.
Well, that big fat bailiff isn't gonna do anything. You know what I mean?
You see that old man got a cane, so he definitely at least 60. Don't touch me, nickel. He got a cane in his hand. You see the cane? Oh man, you see where Jesus Christ, generational. What kind of son you think he raised?
I'm blind.
Yes, you are.
Stop. Do it again, you're going to be asked to leave. Stop it. Okay? That's your last warning.
Why am I being one to come to
Why I be warned? Why I be warned?
Because normally in our
Last
meetings,
warning, John.
we respect
Normally
them.
people
And
don't come in and lie like this.
whether they whatever they decide to do, we do listen to them, okay? And we never interrupt them. And I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Branham, you know good and well how I behave. And you know I would never come to your meeting to do that. And I do not like the fact that you did that here. And you know that
I want you coming in and being lied to and being disrespectful and being disrespectful.
At the meeting
Okay, and
without
You remember when my tenant, y'all disrespected me. Y'all disrespected me. Remember that was the child molester. Y'all disrespecting me.
Without being kicked out.
Right.
Okay.
This is
So
public
look,
meeting.
and that's why you should have
Hey,
relaxed.
John,
Man, I tell you, keep talking about fucking video. What the fuck you guys say? What the fuck you guys say so important right now?
John, I was wondering who that woman was.
I don't know.
That ran the meeting with the blue bandana on her head.
I don't fucking know if I knew that. I don't fucking know. 12 minutes. You're gonna be at 12 minutes. You're gonna come up here when the video playing. Don't talk over the video.
Okay, and threat.
Here you go talking over the goddamn video.
And
threatened.
Okay.
This is
So
public
look, and that's why you should have relaxed.
You have to go. Don't touch me.
But see, the drama is unnecessary. I know.
Ooh, this straight nigga right here.
You gonna throw me to the floor too?
You gonna throw me to the floor me, nigga.
All right. This is
Carmelo daddy. Carmelo granddaddy.
With the public. This is how he treat the public.
Carmelo
This is how
granddaddy.
they treat the public. They lie. The president is a 34 counts convicted felon. All right. A 34 counts convicted felon. Get your hand off my back.
Get your hand off me.
And Miss Francis, you were dishonest. Come on. Rude. And you don't owe me an apology.
Mr. Branham got his show today.
And I speak my piece.
I speak my mind.
Mr. Branham.
Who said? Who said? Somebody said this. I speak my mind. I say what I want. I say what I want. I say my piece. Anybody tell me not to say nothing? This is what you're saying. I've been describing this for you. And this is in a very, very public setting where a public official took their time to come out and speak to these men. They got news cameras, everything. He don't give a damn. He got children, I'm sure. And he's at least 60 years old. You see how he's behaving. So what you see around these YouTube panels, this is what you see in real life here. As I say, these YouTube panels are nothing more than a microcosm of how the blacks behave in public on panels, how they communicate with each other. And so this is what you're seeing here.
Have a beautiful and blessed day.
I am God's child.
God.
Being kicked out of a public meeting. I'm an elected official, former elected official in this town. I'm a native Washingtonian.
Native?
What are you what? Washington, public meeting. I'm an elected official, former elected official in this town. I'm a native Washingtonian.
Get your. No worry for me, friendly. I gotta get this. One more. I gotta get this on my soundboard.
You know, I'm gonna speak my piece.
I'm gonna speak my piece.
Okay.
Karen, I'd like to follow up.
Let me just ask my question so that you want me to tell you something? I'm gonna tell you, if we have one more disruption like that, and I don't care who decides they plan on getting it, you won't get one sentence out your mouth. What we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to what she has to say, and we're gonna listen to what you have to say. These meetings are always fairly handled. I don't care what you have to say what you have to say, but do it with respect. The fact that was done in this meeting, what it does is it makes him not be able to come to any of the other meetings. And I don't say, oh, please come next time. That's not happening. So I want everyone to be able to enjoy yourself. And even if you have passion in your questions, have that passion, but do it respectfully. We can listen to each other in this meeting. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So if you want to stand up, just like Miss Toby, she had her two-sided shirt. I love her shirt. And I want her to express herself because guess what? We want DC to be a state. We want to be able to enjoy the freedom in DC. But what we are not going to do is disrespect each other in this meeting. And that's not happening again. So anybody who has any designs on doing that, Lord help you. You are not going to be sitting in this meeting long. So let me get back to where I was going with my question, and now I'll get to you, Jeanine. Okay?
Yeah, I like it,
I think somebody forgot exactly who they was dealing with in here, but I'm gonna fix this one. Okay. Back to the questions in regards to for years, prosecutors from your office had attended our monthly meetings, and I know you had a huge staff change. That stopped this year because of your staff changes. Can we restore regular dialogue?
What stopped?
Look, we haven't had our prosecutors in here every meeting. Everybody can be.
Jeanine ain't going for this bullshit with these blacks. She like, look, man, like, I ain't going for it. Like, I'm correcting every misstatement here because I'm going to correct the record because I know what the media would do.
No. Beretta. We do not have a prosecutor in our meetings every. Beretta's not a prosecutor. Right. No, we've had, and I'm gonna tell you, we've always had. We have a running chair for everybody who comes in here, and we're so used to having them. I mean, Bonnie Liggingham, she used to come here all the time. She sat front row. We always.
Now, you may think that these blacks really are being honorable and they want a prosecutor in there. But what they really want to do is play on this prosecutor not to prosecute their children. So they need to be able to put a face on this. That's why they want one there. You know, a prosecutor is not there. They, you know, he just prosecuting, he's just doing his job blindly. They're trying to make him feel and see who he's likely to be prosecuting, a little truer, and hear their stories. So they want one there. They don't want him to prosecute. Far from that. They want him to not prosecute by painting the victimhood picture.
Had a prosecutor here in our meeting.
The office was full staff then.
Well, and we understand that. Look, hey, we've gone through some changes and we understand that. But what we want to know is we want to be able to restore a regular dialogue with you so that people don't have to get their X out at one meeting at a time. We want to be able to have that ongoing dialogue so that the stuff that we need to have taken care of can be taken care of. So the question was, we want to know if we can get that again. Okay.
I'm not going to be able to have a prosecutor here every month, not while I'm down, 75 prosecutors now. It's just they're in court, they're working on trials, they're working on investigations, they're interviewing witnesses, they're working on appeals. Trust me, they're working. If you know anything about me, you know they're working. However, what I want is to have the open dialogue and the communication. As I said, we're not going to agree on anything, but if there's a problem and if there is something that I can do to change it, then I'm all ears. And that's why I have my community engagement people, my community committee. And Beretta is phenomenal. But the prosecutors coming in right now, we are so overworked. And it's not your problem, it's mine.
Right.
Okay. That's why I'm coming out. And I have a meeting. What, honey?
Latoya Davenport, she's always here every meeting, and we can thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah.
But see, sometimes we have questions that's specific to.
Then she'll bring it back to me. You're going to get an answer. Okay. You're going to get an answer. There's not a lawyer here, and I doubt that's going to happen in the future based upon what I'm dealing with right now. But you will get an answer.
Well, we're looking forward to that answer. We were looking forward to building the relationships. Now, one of the things that the relationship is important, right? And during the search, residents reported federal agents covering their badges and refusing to identify themselves. And ANC 1B specifically, I work wholeheartedly with ANC 1B. You know, they created a resolution along with other commissioners and multiple, and they passed those resolutions denouncing the practice of them covering their badges, you know, and it's really important. And what they want to know is they want to make sure that not only is the badges shown, but the actual agency's name is shown on when they're out in the field working with the community instead of saying police or enforcement.
Now think about this shit, honestly. Why do they need his name? The niggas ain't even gonna remember that shit. All they need is a number. My bad, number 22516. Okay, write it down. Take a picture of it. If they understand anything about a database, that's going to tie back to a name, right? That's all. Right, but see, they want his name so they can dox him, threaten to dox him.
That's right.
That's all. They don't need his name. They don't need it, right? You know, usually I don't play. Usually I don't play commercials here. I'm going to play a quick commercial. I need to take something out of the stove real quick.
Who is John Galt? This question is the first sentence of Ayn Rand's famous novel Atlas Shrugged. This book, published on October 10th, 1957,
violence
was
when, again, our young black
Most
boys,
crime committed by white people.
our young black boys are not the violent ones in America, no matter how much they try to perpetrate it as that. Our young black men are moving forward. The majority of violent crimes that happen in America is 69% committed by white men.
And see,
so this whole idea that white people are safer than us is a lie and is a fallacy that we got to stop. And this is a part of, for me, the black fatigue. Like literally, the FBI put out the stat. It's not me saying it. The FBI put out the stat. 69% of all violent crimes are done by white men.
Yep.
So
and not only that,
we got to stop allowing people to put the jacket on our young black men that all these black violence when.
I mean, we need training. Black people need to be trained and taught about economics.
And we talk about investing, but doesn't investing, where does it start? What's the catalyst of 2053 being a thing, man? Can we change it or is it over? This is fantastic. I read up on it briefly.
John Galt is right. It's over. It's over, man.
I think he's right. I think
it's over, man.
Yeah. There's no pulling back from this because for every
CT right there. CT, my man, CT. How the hell is my life? Yeah.
Well, John Galt, I kind of have a problem with that white statistic is 69% of all violent crime is committed by whites, but if you do a per capita, then it's mostly black on black crime.
I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, Just Kev. I think I've seen him somewhere. I can't remember the name though. Everybody has the same 24 hours, man. Maybe he's talking to somebody else. I'm not sure what you referencing to. But if you want to join the panel while you have me up here, feel free. Anyone can join.
They wanted to say the actual agency, and they want their faces uncovered, because it's striking a psychological issue.
You know what's so interesting, bro? You know what's so interesting about this shit? I'm gonna play it back for you again, and I want you guys to think about that Young Boy concert where I showed you the other day. Listen,
they wanted to say the actual agency, and they want their faces uncovered, because it's striking a psychological issue with people. People want to identify who they're dealing with, and
I say the same thing. Make these niggas take their mask off. I'm walking down the street, this fucking nigga walking up on me with ski mask. Take that shit off. You don't like the police when I'm on? Me either. I don't like you with yours on either. Take yours off too. Right? See, the blacks don't want to take their mask off. The ones that are robbing them got masks on too. She don't want to talk to them. She want to tell the police, take your mask off. But my criminals, they get to wear their mask.
And two, if it's we've had people run around robbing people and creating having these nefarious acts whatsoever, robbing people with the same type of mask on. And
so she's saying that the criminals are imitating the police. Lady, we know what the criminals look like. They ain't getting out of police car.
We've had people who you talk about you're into domestic violence, making sure that you talk about. We've had people come and take women and harm women, and with those same types of masks on. So it's creating a fear that it might not be the intention.
So tell the blacks to take their mask off. Start with them, and then we get to the police. How about that?
And I know that there's reasons, but it's causing more fear and more harm to the community because they cannot see the faces of the persons who are coming in to do the work. What is your office going to do about making sure you support our city on that?
Well, I don't know if I'm in a position to tell the police what they can and can't do. What I do know is that they're wearing a lot of vests and a lot of like Kevlar, and they're putting like the flak is it flak jackets on that may not identify their particular jurisdiction, but for the most part, they are identifying themselves as law enforcement. You're telling me they're not. So the question is, can I control these federal agencies and the Metropolitan Police Department? I can't control them in terms of what they do. However, what you've got here is you've got situations where if people are taking advantage of that and saying that they're police and they're not, that's a different scenario.
Different scenario, that's correct.
But the police have to identify themselves sooner or later. And all the body-worn cameras that I review as a result of this surge, they are all saying this. So whenever they bring in an arrest, okay, if there's an arrest and there's an issue with the arrest, I've got the body-worn. And it's not one body worn. It's usually 4. They may be 4 different agencies, but I see.
They should put cameras like a RoboCop, like all around the cop, in his back, on his side.
That's ridiculous, John.
On the back of his hat, where if somebody attack him from the back, you get footage of that.
From everyone's body worn. Otherwise, I can't make an assessment as to whether there's a crime.
But see, what you're seeing is you're seeing it from their perspective. What we're talking about.
I'm seeing it from a hang on. Here, I want to be real clear on this. I'm seeing it.
She got a little, hey, let me straighten everything you say out. She's trying to say Jeanine Pirro is seeing it from the side of the cops. Jeanine Pirro said, well, you're seeing it from the side of the criminals. But she can't say that again.
From a perspective where if you want this person arrested, I'm not going to approve the arrest unless I know how it went down. Okay. That's what I'm telling you.
So if they're wearing masks, they come and approach people.
You see, this is what blacks do, man. Like this lady that came here talking about all kind of damn crime that's going on. They don't even want to address that. Like we just spent the first 10, 15 minutes beyond getting that black man out talking about masks worn by the police.
They're fully masked up. They have no identifying. It's not saying FBI or CIA or whatever in front of it. If their agents
unbelievable.
Identified. All this is police or enforcement. Now MPD is fully identified. They're coming to get. If they're dressed like MPD in the field, then that's one thing. But they're not dressed like MPD. You see MPD's badge number. You see MPD's face. You see MPD's full insignia. Everything is all over them, but none of these officers who have been infiltrating our streets has been wearing these the consistent.
Yeah, because they're coming in, let's say from Mississippi, or they're coming in from another state, and they're not going to come in with it says the city of Rochester, New York. So they're putting on the jackets and the vests that are with the agency that they're with. They cannot and will not and do not make an arrest without identifying who they are. And I'm telling you that I see every one of those arrests, and those arrests do not happen unless I see that body cam.
You see their full face in this arrest?
Yeah.
Okay, but they're approaching people with the mask on.
See,
I know you've seen the footage.
Yeah, I've seen the footage. And so the question is,
this is really unbelievable, man. Look how much emphasis they're putting on the mask and not the crime. Like Jesus Christ, man.
Why are they doing that? Are they doing it for their own safety at that point? It's a double-edged sword, this. And it's not for me to make a decision on that. My decision is once you come into my lane and my wheelhouse, if you want an arrest, I got to see that body worn. And that body worn is going to show me that you've identified yourself as a cop.
But the dynamics of the community has changed because they're not seeing that. And we have a fragile community. This is a very fragile situation where they're impacted with all these mass people at one time. So you can imagine what it looks like. It's a terror.
But let me explain something. Okay. Do you know that as a result of the surge, homicides are down 53%? Do you know that as a result of the surge, robberies are down 59%.
I'm like, lady, I want to get back to these masks. Can we get back to the masks by the police? That's all they want to talk about.
As a result of the surge, all violent crime is down 39 to 40%. So the police will look at it in a different way. They're the ones being assaulted. They're the ones where we've got assault on a police officer or a federal officer, and they're being assaulted as well. But what they're doing is they're bringing finally an end to the violent crime that is so pervasive in the city. And Mayor Bowser has agreed to continue to cooperate with the federal resources that President Trump has put into the district. No one can deny that crime has gone down, that there is a deterrent effect, that people are not as willing to shoot, carjack, stab, and by the way, do you know what's up? Stabbings, because we're taking the guns away. Okay.
That happened in Europe. I mean, London, they saw a rise in their
So look at it. That happened in Europe.
Their crimes
lives
because of the guns being off the streets. So if someone wants to commit violence, as you already know, they're going to do it. So with the 2,300 cases that you had, the arrests that happened during the surge, what percentage are those resulting in a meaningful federal prosecution versus people cycling back into the community? And how do you measure whether the federal prosecutions are actually making our neighborhoods safer?
How do I measure whether it's making the community safer? Because it is. I just told you. Okay. All right.
Jeanine said, look, I just gave you the stats. What do you mean?
Let's talk about, and I'm listening to you. Let's talk about the fact that we've taken over 300 guns off the street. That doesn't mean that they can't go out and get another gun.
Well, what you going to do about the pipeline that's bringing the guns?
Honey, I'm on it. I'm with the Eastern District of Virginia. I'm with my other federal partners. I can't wait. I got that.
Because we have the iron pipeline that comes.
Iron pipeline, Jesus Christ.
No.
Because I'm gonna tell you, we have people who can't even get $5. They beg you for $5. What are they doing with a $2,500 gun? So the question is, how did they get that gun in their hand?
The better question is, how can they not get $5 here in America, in Washington, D.C.? That's shit. How the hell you can't get $5?
I don't know. You tell me.
You tell me. You tell me. How are your blacks that ain't got $5? Why are they spending money on guns? Like, that's a legitimate question. Who the hell spent their last $5 on a gun? Like, you hear what the blacks is? They always create these hypothetical situations that don't even exist. Black had $5, but he got a gun just magical dropped out of there. No, he had more than $5. And he decided to spend the money that he had on gun. Right? He had more than $500, lady.
They beg you for $5. What are they doing with a $2,500 gun?
And they ain't got no $2,500 gun either.
So the question is, how did they get that gun in their hand?
I don't know. You tell me.
That's what I'm.
You tell me, lady. Use your brain.
Well, John, in Alaska, we just trade guns with our neighbors like it's no big deal.
Well, that's not what they're doing. And that's clearly why Jeanine Pirro said, you tell me, how are 14-year-olds getting guns in your community?
Okay. No, now you tell me.
That's what I'm asking you. It's like, how are these people who generally does not have the ability to afford these guns? These guns are expensive. How are they getting these guns unless somebody's intentionally putting them in their hand?
Or they're wheeling and dealing with some other substance.
You think this based on wheeling and dealing? You think that every gun that
I'm not going to say anything ever.
So they want to every gun, so they could disprove us. And it ain't every gun. We found one gun that was whatever.
Yeah.
The thing is just we have too many guns. We don't have a gun manufacturer in DC.
Mm-hmm. They're all coming in.
Guns proliferate in our streets.
Guns are illegal in Chicago, and it's one of the most violent cities in the country.
Yeah.
You like, look, what you want me to do with that? What you gonna do with that fact? What you gonna do with that one? You did look. You got me on that one.
Still in Chicago, and it's one of the most violent cities in the country.
Look.
And where there's a will, there's a way. We're getting them, but the question is.
So now you just answered your question. You wonder where the kids are getting the guns. They got a will, and they make a way. And so now you had your question answered. You answered it yourself. It just took a little bit of logic there.
What are we doing to block those pipelines to get from getting them into DC?
What about dropping the wheel? See, that's what they don't want to drop. They don't want to drop the wheel. She's saying, look, if you can't drop the wheel, they're going to pick up knives. The wheel is the problem. With that wheel, they found a way. And this is what she's acknowledged, but she doesn't want to address that part.
Because we would rather not see them if they're.
Well, John, in UK, they banned the guns, right? Now they're doing acid attacks and like.
Yeah. We need it. We'll be begging for shootings.
Some of them are ghost guns too, Karen.
Jeanine just said, look, some of these are ghost guns too. In other words, they're making them.
Okay, let's be for real here.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Everybody is not, I mean, I'm telling you, we don't have that the 3D equipment that it takes to.
See, like we ain't got none of that. Okay, that don't mean by the fact that it ain't here doesn't mean it can't create products that can travel here.
Use those guns. It's not happening in some of these neighborhoods.
Okay.
The same neighborhoods that we're talking about can't afford those guns. Okay. So I'm trying to look at this a little bit realistically.
Honey, I got the pipeline. That's in my wheelhouse.
We've been asking for the guns to be off the streets, but cutting off that pipeline, and then also the people who are training people to try to use the guns to make we don't want our kids in these unsafe situations. We don't want to be in these unsafe situations.
Of course not.
Yet the guns keep coming into DC, and the question is, when are you guys going to stop that?
Well, it takes a lot of people to stop that. And it's not just the prosecution, it's the juries, it's the judges, it's making sure.
Go ahead.
It's making.
Is that her phone going off? Is that Allah Abba? Did y'all hear that? You heard that to what, man?
Yeah, it was like an Islamic call for prayer or something like that.
That's what you talking about. Was that Allah? Was that the Akbar? Was that Ak? Yo, was that Ak? Toy man. What's up, Marathon Kid? Was that Ak?
What's going on, brother?
Whoa.
Play it again, John.
Oh, somebody said Hakuna. I thought that was. I thought that was
the ring.
Hold on, somebody said
the ringtone again.
Allah, wait a minute. It was Hakuna Matata. Hold on.
Play it again, John.
That was the Adon for sure. That was
No way, man. Hey, man, Jesus Christ, man. Like, bro, Jesus fucking, no way.
This bitch is tripping.
No way, bro. No way.
This bitch is tripping. Talking about, well, yeah, niggas ain't got the ability to get a 3D printer to print some of these.
Now I got another question now.
Allah Akbar or something.
Did she do that shit on purpose? Do you think she's like, I'm gonna make this shit play? Wow.
I think that was divine intervention to let everybody know.
Allah, call the prayer. I gotta go now. I'll be back.
And it's not just the prosecution, it's the juries, it's the judges, it's making sure.
Go ahead.
It's making sure.
Whoops a diddle.
Hakuna Matata.
Oh shit! I'm hoping that was a Hakuna Matata.
You better break your rug out, John.
Oh shit!
Get it.
Oh shit!
Get a rug out and pray.
Helen, tell these men on this panel. We don't know what we heard.
Oh no, believe it.
Helen Hayes, you tell these men on this panel. We all know what we heard.
Need more evidence here.
That woman is about to grab her rug.
It's the judges.
She's going to face Mecca.
Go ahead.
You exposed it, John.
Herman, we do need to figure out who she is. You know, it's funny how little things can pop up to tell you about someone. You now think about it.
Oh man!
If she was playing trap music, John Gutt would be upset. He would laugh, but he would have gotten over it.
That might be worse.
If this was trap music.
Oh Jesus Christ!
We would have let this go. If he's playing something like early 2000s Blueprint, Jay-Z, we would have let it go.
Man, I wonder how these Muslims look at this shit. Like these are like fake Muslims. Like again, like I've been
to Hotep. These are Hotep people.
Yeah. This is some bullshit. I know Jeanine Pirro. Like, damn, who the hell am I talking to? Some lady mixed up her damn self.
Off top. As soon as the Yadam went off, she looking at her like, bitch, you got me fucked up.
Because Jeanine Pirro, she's a New Yorker. If she heard one of these rappers, she would have been like, okay, man, turn off your phone. Like little things, we would have let it go.
Oh shit.
Why did you not turn off your phone? But she's playing that music. Nobody let this go. That's infiltrated.
Like, this shit on purpose. You know what I'm saying? This shit on purpose. But again, and I'm getting off the topic a little bit. I've been
who is she?
Well, we're gonna look her up in a minute. It should be easy to find. And I'm getting off the topic a little bit, but it goes back again. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we heard Big Pimpin', we would have let it go.
I mean, these blacks don't know who they are, man. This is probably more than likely this is a native Washingtonian. And when I say native Washingtonian, anybody who's in the DC area know that blacks like to use that as their calling card to like distinguish themselves around here among the people that come here. And it's only black people do it. Understand? That's why you heard the black man who's escorted out like or the black lady may have deferred to him as a native Washingtonian. It's like a sign of respect or tipping your hat to people who've been here long before DC was nice. That's really what it's about. So the blacks are saying, hey man, I was here when it was fucked up. You just came here, Johnny come lately. And so I'm a Washingtonian. I was here when it was fucked up. That's when they say Washingtonian, that's what they mean. And that's why the lady deferred to him like that. Did any of you guys see the old man? If you missed that, we gotta play that.
Marathon Kev, you just joined the panel. Did you happen to see the older man who caused a ruckus during this meeting?
Yeah, I've seen it. They called in the big black security guard that looked like a defensive tackle. He's like 4 foot wide and just fucking ushered him out.
Hey, Marathon Kid, are you familiar with Stanley at all?
Say again?
Are you familiar with Stanley at all?
Stanley?
Yeah, you may not be familiar with him.
I don't know.
Anyway, there used to be a guy up on the panel, older guy. He's about 60 years old. He used to be up here on the panel. Very belligerent, kind of hard to deal with, always, talking shit, disrespecting people, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And so I tried to explain to the people in my audience, like, this is how black people really. How much of this video have you seen before I go too far?
Not too much, bro.
Okay,
you know what I mean? This
is good. So this is a neighborhood meeting in Washington, D.C. The reason why Jeanine Pirro is here is because she, in D.C., the federal prosecutor appointed by the president is the one that prosecutes crime in D.C. It's a very unique situation. So you go to federal prison when you commit crimes here, like guns and certain crimes that she's able to commit. Damn, I got a phone call coming in. I'll take that later. And so anyway, that is the case there. That is she's talking to these and she's saying, damn. So she's talking to these people where there's a lot of crime and violence. How do I do this? Where there's a lot of crime and violence, and she's saying, hey, I'm trying to address the crime in your neighborhood. And
what is that?
It's WhatsApp, man. It is finally going. And so anyway, so there's this this older black man in the front, and we've shown his credentials here in the office on this panel. He's like an older guy. He's on the board of a couple, non-profit type things. So let's just say he's somewhat known, esteemed in the neighborhood. He's a front row seat here. And so he's an elder, and this is how he behaves to start the meeting off. And we're at 42 minutes, 31 seconds here. And so I think it's about right here. This is when Jeanine Pirro gets done speaking.
More than that. Let me ask you something. How many of you think understand that then we're the suckers and we're the ones? Go ahead. It's my friend over there in social service. We're not questions.
We won't be taking questions except from me and the ones that have been sent in. And then hold on. And then hold not.
No, that's not going to happen.
Excuse me, sir.
That's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen.
Okay?
That's not going to happen. You're going to have to hear.
There will be questions from the community. Did you not see the agenda? I said not right now. Let me lead my meeting. Please do not disrespect me in my meeting.
Don't respect us.
I am going to.
If you're going to be held accountable, she needs to be held accountable. President Trump needs to be held accountable.
Did you see this agenda?
He does not go protect. You can have a seat, Commander. Have a seat. He does not protect. He does not protect men in blue.
Look.
Did you see
this agenda?
Did you see the agenda?
Did you see this agenda? Okay, Mr. Branham, I want you to be able to enjoy yourself in the meeting, but I want you to look at this agenda. I want you to look at this agenda.
She doesn't really want to be.
Yes, she does. Then look, please. Look, please.
Because you're here for photo ops.
No, that is not the reason why. That is not the reason why. First of all, I'm not even connected on Twitter. And this is not connected on Twitter. Look, Mr. Branham.
Go to the floor and handcuff.
Okay, Mr. Branham. I really want to be able to let you answer your questions, but if you can't allow me to have my meetings, you already know what's part 2.
Okay. I'm calm. But I'm not going to be disrespected.
But we haven't even started the meeting.
We ain't even started the meeting yet.
Okay.
I'm not going to be disrespected.
Don't do that. All right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
She owes me an apology. You owe me an apology. Have me thrown to the floor and handcuffed.
Here's my next question. My question is, beyond gun cases in the district court, we've heard you discuss gun cases, right? What other type of crimes is your office prioritizing for federal prosecution in the 3rd district?
There's too much shooting. There's too much forgiveness of guns. We convict people of possessing, and what's going on after? Yeah, that with Domini's federal crimes, and that role especially fine.
Okay, that's your.
Do me, sir.
Because you're lying to us.
I'm lying.
Yes, you are.
You don't stop. Do it again, you're going to be asked to leave. Stop it. Okay? That's your last warning.
Why am I being warned to come to this? Why?
Stop.
Because normally in our meetings, we listen to people, we respect them.
Many people don't come in and lie like this.
Whether they whatever they decide to do, we do listen to them, okay? And we never interrupt them. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Branham, you know good and well how I behave. And you know I would never come to your meeting to do that. And I do not like the fact that you did that here. And you know that I want you to be able to enjoy yourself.
One of the things she just said is you could have gone on your own panel and handled your meeting any way you wanted to. You got a panel.
That bullshit over there, nigga.
Right. Go to your panel.
And when she trying to get her point off, the nigga can't help but interrupt her.
Right, and this is a 60-something-year-old man. You're going to see him later. Look.
Okay,
without being kicked out.
Threatened.
Okay.
This is
So
public
look, that's why you should have relaxed.
You have to go. Don't touch me.
But see, the
Don't do that. No.
I'm not going to be dealing with
Here comes security.
That's what they.
You gonna throw me to the floor too? All right. This is how she wants to operate with the public. This is how he treat the public. This is how they treat the public. They lie. The president is a 34 counts convicted felon. All right. A 34 counts convicted.
Being disruptive, fool.
Get your hand off my back.
That's why you got treated like that.
And Miss Francis, you were dishonest, rude, and you don't owe me an apology.
Big old black guy calling him out.
Thank you, Mr. Branham. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
I am God's child.
Allegedly.
Being kicked out of a public meeting. I'm an elected official, former elected official in this town. I'm a native Washingtonian.
See, there you go.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You hear what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a goddamn native Washingtonian. You got me fucked
I'm a
up.
native Washingtonian.
I love that. I gotta get that shit on my side.
You know, I'm gonna speak my piece.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Get your motherfucking hands off me, nigga.
Let me get back to my question.
We don't want kids in these unsafe situations. We don't want to be in these unsafe situations. Of
course not.
Yet guns keep coming into DC, and the question is, when are you guys going to stop that?
Well, you know, it takes a lot of people to stop that, and it's not just the prosecution; it's making sure that we've got.
Hey, hold on, the ghost of Bin Laden is calling me, bitch. Shut up.
Parents out. You know, a lot of grandmothers, a lot of family members are living with kids who are doing this kind of thing, and they're scared of them. And so I need help from them too. You know, it's what we all agree about that, about the guns. What else?
You ready for it? I don't know. I'm gonna let Jean go ahead.
One of the things when I first came here, when I heard, and again, 4 months, like.
Hold on, pause it, John, real quick.
I said, how?
She had said some shit. The sister had said some shit like questioning Jeanine, right? She was like,
Yeah.
well, shit, it's a whole lot of gun violence over here. She like,
Right,
well,
right.
you know, I'm like pro gun laws or whatever the case may be. She's like, well, shit, it's a lot of the guns that's like being 3D printed or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Jeanine, like, what did you say? Like, she was kind of stunned by that. And then the sister with the hijab or whatever the case may be, she was like, we ain't got the funds to print these guns. Like a 3D printer ain't $300. Like niggas ain't buying ounces of marijuana that cost $300 every day. Like,
Yeah,
shut
this is
the
what-
fuck up.
this is
Strong
like-
ass arguments, bro. I'm not going for that. That's
But
toxic.
this is a classic example of this lady having to act like she don't know shit, and then acting like she don't know shit. She's making they have to make blacks really look stupid as hell. Because she's saying these blacks ain't got but $5.
Right, $5.
How they buying guns and printers? Well, okay, well, if they ain't got $5, then we got some real serious problems because they ain't got but $5 in America. Right? Like that's a serious problem. Like
niggas get the latest drop of Jordans every month, though.
Right, and they got Jordans on, right? Like
every month.
Like I see a bunch of glass and shit on the street corners.
Oh,
they get
God.
food stamps, right? Like trade some of your food. Maybe they trading their food stamps, right?
Blaming
That's
the white
problem,
man, though.
right?
Shit is sick. This victim mentality is fucking sick, bro. Like, come on.
And so the white lady, Jeanine Pirro, is sitting there having to listen to this stupidity while acting like, you know, you're like, lady, you got a problem with your culture, but I can't say it.
Many teens under 20 have been killed with guns last year. 26 teens were killed by gunfire. 26 teenagers killed with guns last year, 2024. This year, I think it's 19.
Like all of America?
I think we're up to 45.
She's talking about in DC. She's only talking about DC.
Gotcha.
Okay. Every one of those victims, every one of those teens, and by the way, one was a 3-year-old that was 19 and under, and one was a 5-year-old. Every one of them was African American. Every one of them. And so I said, what's the clearance rate? Do you know what the clearance rate is? Clearance rate means the closure rate. 29.1%. That means 70% of those homicides where the victim was killed with a gun, those murderers are still running around with those guns, unless they've been hit by somebody else and they're no longer around. I've got them on to remind myself. I have them on posters in my front office to remind myself I'm going to call every one of those mothers. And they got the numbers for me, my staff. This is some of the stuff that they do. I'm going to call every mother to let her know that I care. That because she may have heard that we solved one case, doesn't mean that we're not looking at her case. Because I haven't forgotten. I just got here. There's a lot that's being thrown at me, and there's a lot that I will handle. But what you can know about me is that I will continue to fight for the victim, the silent victim of crime who never asked to be a part of a criminal act, and all of a sudden their life is turned upside down by someone, whether they're a juvenile or an adult. I don't really care. It's time to make them accountable.
And that's highly appreciated because one, this is where we are going because we believe in building a community, building a good village. And I do believe that we need to start caring for each other without having any type of acts of violence. And this is why I'm really big on respecting us in our meetings because we always have a really good meeting. I know that's the reason why you probably came.
It's good meeting.
We didn't expect.
I saw it crazy the last meeting.
No, actually, our last meeting was perfect.
I saw on television.
What did we have on television that was crazy, guys?
That's the next day I called Beretta. I said, Beretta, I got to go there. Where is that? Where is that?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know what we've done crazy, but I think we try. We try our best. Oh. It wasn't crazy. It was just passionate. I know the meeting and it was passionate. It was not crazy. We don't do crazy. We just do passionate. Okay, so I'm going to allow you to hear from our community, and thank you guys for. I hope my questions weren't too off base for you all, but I hope these were the questions that you all were asking me to ask. Stand up right now, Justice. See, look, and do not say that you didn't get your shine in this meeting. You got your free DC to go first, and I said again, please, ma'am.
No, he's telling me that I am fine.
I have 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, are we all? Look.
No, but I'm listening.
Because of that other protest, it wasn't solid. But
they're waiting.
And I'm can we get 2 questions then?
Depends on how long. Let's go.
What's your name, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. I didn't get your intro. I'm Abigail. Miss Abigail, last name? Freeman. Okay. Abigail, first Jean, then Abigail. And then and Andrea. Okay. You guys make sure your question is very, very, very clear. Okay, thank you.
Okay, go. All right. First of all, thank you very much for being here.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, gee, I didn't expect that.
How should I address you? AG?
Janine.
Lady says she's short of time. She's wasting time with words.
Thank you very much for being here.
Not again, not another.
And,
Thank you.
Well, there's the politics and everything involved. It's irrelevant when we're talking about the safety of our city. So I really appreciate what I've heard from you today. Guns, yes. Drugs, yes. The violent crime, love it. The endlessness of it all, we understand. I wanted to talk, and so I'm going to take us back a few steps where you said you're so understaffed. And I know that that our AG is also understaffed.
Jeez.
We need judges. We need prosecutors. We Oh boy, I've heard you know some people, and it would be great if we could get our $1 billion back.
God.
$1 billion that's on hold that we never did
$1
get
billion
back.
that could be put
You want
to
money?
use hiring cops and everything. When you talk,
Okay, let me tell you something. All right, I'm with you.
I hope you
9:30. Let me tell you something. One of the first things that I did when I got here, besides realizing the harm that's being committed by juveniles, the inordinate percentage, is that we don't have enough judges on the Superior Court. We are down 15 judges. Okay. I'm singing. I spoke to someone very important about that. I spoke to someone very important. And there have been people from my office who have been called, and there will be more people going on that bench. There will be, I understand it. And because I was a judge, it is impossible. And you know what's not fair? It's not fair for the prosecutor, because what's happening is I'm losing witnesses. Memories fade. People aren't as angry as they were. Or people are more angry or whatever. And the rights of the individual charged, whose civil liberties are at stake, and the anxiety and the panic that goes with that is just dragged out. So I see it from both sides. That's why you're going to see more judges on the bench. So I am very in tune with you on that. Now, with respect to the police, there is a great deal of negotiating going on right now. And you will be surprised at how Democrats and Republicans are working together, because there is no Republican or Democrat way to protect the people of the district. It is happening. I'm telling you, it's happening. And that one of the first things I did when I came here, I met with Pamela Smith. I met with Mayor Bowser. I met with members of Judge Lee. It's only when we work together that President Trump, he's dropped it. Okay. Is that enough? Okay. Okay.
We're gonna be great friends.
I hope so, because I want to know what 9:30 is. Anyway.
So Abigail, you're
Yeah, Abigail. No, it's two. Because I have another group.
Mine's very quick. I'm confused about, you talked about arrests and how you don't approve any arrests unless you are able to look at the camcorder, the webcams, etc. But I'm curious about detentions, because the real concern is people are being detained and then ICE is taking them away. That's the concern in some parts of the community near here. So
this lady, Jeanine, just said, hey man, y'all got blacks shooting kids. And this liberal white who probably lives in a really nice area of DC where there may not be any teens shooting, she said, I'm worried about my housekeeper getting rounded up by ICE.
So what happens, what is your jurisdiction over that?
I don't have jurisdiction over ICE. I do not.
You're saying that you can't really have any, because and I'm sorry, this is the first time here, so I don't know your name.
My name is
Karen.
Karen had asked about, Karen had initially, her question was about, people with masks and everything, and your answer didn't really address it, because you don't have jurisdiction over ICE. And if
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's federal. That's federal.
Look, if they're wearing masks because they believe it's what they need to do to not be targeted, and if there is a good reason, I'm not here to argue that issue. I'm not here to argue that issue. But what I can tell you is, if there is someone who is illegal with a criminal record, ICE is coming in. That's it. That's it. We can't have them here with a criminal record. Okay? And within my office, we'll make an arrest. And if there is a crime or a warrant from another country, then ICE does what it does. So be it.
Okay,
Right.
and Andrea,
We got another one? Okay. Yeah.
I think your definition of public safety is
Mhm.
a little different.
Okay.
I'm glad to hear that you're interested in domestic violence.
Oh my God.
Seeing the ICE, these mass goons.
It's another white woman here. Jeanine Pirro really is concerned about criminal crime. That's all she can do. She can't do anything about ICE. She's told them once, just a few seconds ago.
Exactly.
You can see the liberal white, like this is why diversity is so bad. Because these people don't have the same problem that Jeanine Pirro is coming to talk to. They need to talk to ICE. That's not Jeanine Pirro, right? And so now they're taking up the time asking her questions because they, are going to show up at these meetings. They got the time, and they're asking questions that doesn't have a hill of beans to do with what Jeanine Pirro does for a living. And this is exactly why diversity, it's a down on the level. These people have emerging interests here, and
these conversations. You have to take them up with your representative from your state or your district. You know what I mean?
They're talking to the wrong people. Like if this was the ICE administrator, Homeland ICE, man, okay, cool. You can ask these questions.
Yeah.
But she's asking these questions of a criminal prosecutor who doesn't have anything to do with ICE. The people who are concerned about the crime, they're getting crowded out because these two people have asked about ICE, of which she can't answer anything about that. You should probably say that.
Right, John, because they are the GA.
Goddamn tough, man. Trying to get here a question here.
Oh my God.
I can't say anything.
Hold on, I'm about to let you talk.
I spoke last week to a woman who's too afraid to call the police because she knows they're collaborating with these mass goons.
With who?
With the mass guys.
Oh, mass goons. Okay, let me tell you something.
You want grandma to come to the police when she's afraid that her young one has a gun. She's not going to trust them in this atmosphere. We have completely lost trust by letting these people run wild in our neighborhoods. We had an arrest last night a block from my house where there were 25, 30.
Hold on, pause it real quick.
Yeah, what y'all want to say?
She talking about ICE. These people running wild. She talking about ICE.
Yeah, she's talking about ICE.
What about the illegals that's over here that ICE is trying to round up? What about them running wild?
The illegals are her home. The illegals are her homemaker. The illegals are the ones who cut her grass and shit. Go ahead, Toy man. What you gonna say?
This is so fucking dark. Like these people got the shit. They got the gang fucked up, bro. They got everything ass backwards. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? These people running around with these masks and like running around.
But
like, what the fuck?
Hold on. Go ahead, Toy man.
Judge Jeanine doesn't have any jurisdiction over any of that, and she told him what, like you said, John Galt. I mean, and they're still going on about it. It's fine.
And it seems like the black woman is about to say something. The white woman here is about to say something very interesting. Take a look. I don't know if Brave is going live. I'm assuming he is. He usually goes live every Sunday, so I hope so.
We had an arrest last night a block from my house where there were 25, 30 agents, FBI, HSI, I don't know what, people not identified with masks, and MPD.
Good job, FBI.
Yeah.
Let's go.
MPD anymore, and you are not going to get any witnesses coming to you. You need to rein this in. You speak to God, who's making this happen. Right?
Ain't that a contradiction though? She talking about you ain't finna have no witnesses coming to you, but ain't you a witness coming to her? Ain't you a witness coming to her?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
I mean, I think what she's saying is she started off by saying there's a grandmama with a child who may have a gun, but the child could be approached by these masked goons. You notice she initially called them goons.
Right.
Talking about ICE, then Jeanine said, who? And she said, gang. And then Jeanine, I think, repeatedly said goons. And so she's saying that an illegal who has a legal grandma with a gun is unlikely to turn her child in because she don't know what's going to happen to him because these goons are running around with no mask on. With mask on. That's what she's saying.
Well, Judge Jeanine has no jurisdiction over any of that shit.
Right, but that is the point. That's the point that I'm making is that they keep on asking about ICE because either they're living in a neighborhood where there isn't that much crime, which Jeanine can handle, or they don't care about it, or they too politically correct to say anything about it. It's one of the two, one of the three.
Nigga, in layman's terms, this is what the fuck is going on. The bitch got a bad order from McDonald's. Now she pulled up back to Burger King. Like, Bobby, y'all and fuck my goddamn order. I'm like, this is Burger King, bitch. That your receipt says McDonald's. You're like, nah, fuck all that. Like,
there's nothing that can be done for her by Jeanine here. And but again, you're seeing the diverging interests here. There's some blacks in the back of the audience that probably want to talk about some kind of crime. You see the black man in the front. I don't know what the hell he want to talk about Trump. But they're not going to get much time to get any questions out of her, and it's probably going to cause some more trouble here.
Away from us. There's a reign of terror. We have helicopters going over our house. I mean,
aren't you afraid?
Not feel safe.
Oh God, not a helicopter flying over your house.
Truancy is going up in the schools because the parents are afraid of going out in the street and getting kidnapped. You say they're looking for
kidnapped. It's crazy.
It's not true. I've walked down the street when 3 unmarked cars came up on the sidewalk and stopped the guy for the crime of walking to work while brown. And
Cap.
She don't know that.
Cap. Right? That's bullshit.
That man could have been a criminal. He had a warrant out for him. She's more offended by the way he's jumping out. The black lady on the panel, she's offended. They're wearing masks. They spent a whole hour probably. This is 59 minutes. And they've hardly even mentioned crime other than Jeanine. Right. They've talked about masks. They've talked about we want to prosecute at the meeting. But they have not talked about the crime, because the crime is where, it can really turn, whether Jean turned the mirror in their face and said, look, it's really up to you. We're so short-staffed, you can't reasonably put it on me. That's
well, John Galt ICE has gotten over 220,000 applications. So if it says ICE or police and they got a badge, you better stand still.
Well, but this is about police and all this. These are police jobs that they're short. Judges, paralegals, legal assistants. They're short all throughout the ecosystem of the criminal justice system here. And so that's what Jeanine explained earlier. These people on ICE. Jeanine wants to talk crime. They're talking past each other.
I know you're interested in hate crimes. Racial profiling is a hate crime. You have the power, Ms. Pirro, to do something about this.
I hear you, but I see it from another perspective. But for those people, homicides would be double what they are. Robberies would be 40% more. Violent crime would be 60% more. Look, if the president has made a decision that there is a violation of the immigration law and he sends ICE in response to that, that is what the law is, and that's what's going to be followed. If you want safety in this jurisdiction, you will support what the president has done, because as soon as they go back to the way we were, you're going to be the 4th highest homicide city in the country, and you'll be wearing that badge again.
We had a young man right up in Adams Morgan going to his car.
Wait a minute. Okay, so she just told me where she lives. Mm-hmm. This lady lives up in Northwest DC. Very, very expensive, but not the most expensive, but it's expensive. It's west of the line that, when I first moved here, white people said
upper middle class or something like that.
No. Well, yeah, upper middle class for DC. Okay. When I first moved here, white people did not live east of 14th Street. So one of the first neighborhoods east of 14th Street is Adams Morgan. There's a big thoroughfare there, 18th Street, a lot of bars, restaurants, very tight parking. So if you're white, you may not mind living there because you may ride the buses and you're not the buses. I'm sorry, you can walk or ride your bike. So the bike lanes and shit like that. You can ride the bus if you just don't need to, because no ghetto people are going to be getting on. There's a train station in Woodley Park, which is a little bit south of where Obama lives. So this is all a little south of where Obama lives. Obama lives in the next neighborhood north of where this lady says she lives in Adams Morgan. Now, what's interesting about Adams Morgan is very expensive, but there are a lot of immigrants that live there. Why? Because they can double up, triple up in these apartment buildings. Some of these are old apartment buildings where they live there, in considerable numbers here. So these are the people that she is advocating for. And
there shouldn't be a problem for that if she's advocating for immigrants, as long as we talking about legals. You know what I mean?
She's advocating more or less against ICE. And by advocating against ICE, she ends up advocating for the illegals. Right? She doesn't want them arrested.
Yeah, that part for sure. So
they want the police. Let's see, the blacks want the police to take their masks off. For one reason, the Hispanics want their masks taken off for immigration reasons. The blacks want the mask down for criminal reasons.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's all they all kind of have interests that kind of converge, but they're advocating for two different groups of people, and so it's very interesting here.
It's in the morning. Masked people came behind him. He was terrified. He ran. They tackled him, broke his arm, took him into ICE detention until he find out he's a legal permanent resident with no criminal record.
Mm-hmm. So why did he run?
Why
the fuck did he run then? You know what I mean? That don't make sense. Like logically, that story does not make sense.
Well, he could have had a criminal warrant that she may have not be privy to. So that may be why he ran. Maybe he's legal.
In his pocket or a little bag of cocaine or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck did you run?
Well,
you know what I mean?
It could have been a domestic violence. He could have had a gun on him. Like, she's not going to fill in the blanks. Like, he could be a criminal.
Right.
And there may be some provisions where if you own a permanent residence and you get into some trouble, you could be.
I never saw a law-abiding citizen. I grew up in the fucking hood. I never saw a law-abiding citizen just run for no fucking reason. Like, oh shit, they're the police. They out. I'm out. I never seen nobody run for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
if you're running from law enforcement, there's a reason that you're running from them. Like, there's a reason.
Well, let's just say he was afraid, and is afraid of ICE. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Say, all right, that's what they're going to give him, the benefit of the doubt. So he said, well, he was afraid. But it probably is something that she's not telling you. But go ahead, talk, man. What are you about to say there?
They arrested some superintendent, black cabinet.
Yeah, I talked about him yesterday. The guy in East.
Yeah,
they
busted his ass.
Yeah, he has some connection to the Obamas there. We have about 2 more minutes here. Let me play the rest of this here.
Well, you know what? There are ramifications and consequences for that. This is America, okay? My job is to protect. My job is to prosecute. My job is to support those guys. And if you would prefer that they not be here, then you're going to be dealing with the juveniles who are out of control.
This is not America. We have no vote in Congress. We have no control over our laws.
And so then, you see the divergence of interest here.
Yeah, there we go.
You understand? It's like this lady has nothing to do with voting. These are people that are coming in more or less taking over a political meeting, advocating interest that has nothing to do with this lady has control over. So how does that play out in the grand scheme of things? Well, these people have got no answers to what their greater problem is the crime. They've addressed immigration and voting rights, but okay, well, she can't solve that. So they've gotten their scream session out at the Trump administration. They all kind of got it.
Come on.
Right? But what did they resolve? Nothing.
A motherfucking thing. Exactly.
And that's what they wanted to accomplish. You have to think about it from that perspective. Nothing's been accomplished. The children aren't being held accountable, or there's no path to keeping it, holding the children accountable. This has been a win for this black council member who is not going to be seen as siding up with the Trump administration to arrest our children.
Right.
And politically, this is how it all plays out here, to be honest with you. I've seen this shit 20 years now.
You have the DC Council. What are you talking about?
Right?
Congress changes our laws.
Congress does a lot of federal legislation. You're no different than anyone else. But the DC Council writes your.
I used to live in New York. It's a whole other system.
Okay.
Where'd you live in New York?
Straw man argument.
Brooklyn. Hakeem Jeffries High School District.
It's where my daughter lives.
You couldn't tell another New Yorker when you heard her. I mean, the New York came out of you right there. Okay, so on that note, let's thank her for coming.
And now the meeting is over, and all the people that wanted to address crime did not get a chance to address the crime. But they did get their scream out. They came up on the panel, disrupted things, and she spent maybe 5 minutes waiting on the old man to walk out of the room there. And that's how it goes. Anyway,
all of them that like spurred out.
One time, guys. Yeah, what's up? Go ahead. Who's next? Go ahead. What you say?
Go ahead, 12.
No, he was ushered out for being disruptive. He didn't have decorum and know how to be in a meeting. That's actually a skill.
Well, I don't think he came there for that. I think he came there to disrupt the meeting. And that is oftentimes how they disrupted. If you notice the other people that were on the panel, you could say they disrupted the meeting as well and these are fairly educated people, you'd have to say, and they were consistently asking questions that had nothing to do with her. That's an effective tactic. You know, the lady's short on time. You just get her all off her mark. Yeah, huge waste of time. We don't handle things efficiently. That is correct. And
Nothing
so
gets accomplished that way, though. Nothing gets accomplished. You know, you gotta be able to like.
It depends on your point of view. Trust me, it depends on your point of view.
Of course,
If your
of course.
technique is
It's
stalled,
okay to be emotional, though, John. Like, right, like whatever side of the spectrum you fall on, politically, like left leaning, right leaning, it's okay to be passionate about the shit. But you got to be able to have a conversation, and especially if you don't understand something, you have to step away from your confirmation bias. And especially when you have somebody that's like intertwined in politics, like Jeanine, to be able to ask some questions like, okay, this is my grievance. Can you help me, like, help me understand? And if you can't, am I at the wrong place here? You know what I mean? Am I at the wrong place to be asking questions? Then direct me, you know what I mean? Show me the place where I should be going, or direct me in the right, point me in the right direction. Or who I should be like airing my grievances out with.
But I think you're missing the strategy. I think you're missing the strategy. The strategy is what it's a word for it. To like, I don't know, to more or less kind of be obtuse and to derail the conversation. Exactly. And so in that sense, so if your goal is to derail the conversation, and you can see the black lady, she tried to do it. When Jeanine said all the guns or something, and the lady immediately corrected it and said, well, not all. And, the lady, let that point go to continue the conversation. But
that's when she brought up the 3D printers. Like, well, yeah.
Right.
Right. What about when they were talking about that black pipeline, like a never-ending supply of firearms to the big cities or something?
Yeah, they've been talking about that for years. And again, like, they get here, but somebody's using them. That's the part that, Jeanine, I don't know, maybe she's not very effective at dealing with these people that make these straw boss arguments like that. But
I think she just realized that this was like a low capacity audience, and she like, I'm over it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not finna waste my time with this shit. I respect
she said she was short on time. She said she wanted to be there. Again, these are probably people who are somewhat influential, some of them, as you can tell. And so, like, you'd be amazed at the the what they call this shit grass something the way they can just get up a bunch of people or a handful of people is all it takes in some cases to disrupt a meeting like this. They do this shit on purpose. Like right is
those are Antifa tactics, John. That's what Antifa use.
Yeah, somewhat like nonviolent tactics. And they teach this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't like out of nowhere. They teach these type of things, how to effectively derail an argument, stuff like that. Deacon Dave comes up. He's talked about that. I forget the term he uses it, but yeah, they definitely teach these things. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for me though. As a logical man, I'm like, y'all really didn't get shit accomplished here. You know what I mean? You might have derailed the meeting, but what are you accomplishing here?
Well, I think they wanted to let their feelings be known. Let their feelings be known. Again, they only have 2 or 3 more years of this before Trump is out of office. No one else is going to have the fortitude to do this, more than likely. So they'll all be over with. So this is just their resistance period here.
Yeah, it don't make sense to me.
Well, at least it's
counterintuitive to me.
It's a lot less violent than the BLM and Antifa riots. But Trump isn't having that. He sent an army into Portland to combat these domestic terrorists. And
I went to the 7-Eleven.
He's not fucking around.
Yeah, that's right. They invited her. Okay, so they invited her. I went to the 7-Eleven this morning, and I told you the last time I went there, it was all they switched over the team from Somali to West Africa. Today I went there, it was like a Vietnamese looking man, like managing the store, because I pulled my bike in the store. He's like, yo, next time I'm gonna bring your bike inside. And they're going back to Somali. Or Ethiopian, sorry, one of the two. So initially it was Ethiopian. They switched to West African. And then I went back maybe a week or so later, and they switched to Somali again with the Vietnamese looking man or something like that, kind of managing the place. So I say it's corporate America is able to really use these illegals, I'm sure,
We need Solid Snake up here, the Circle K manager, to see what he thinks about that, John Goff.
Hey, Circle K. Oh man, that was an interesting video there. Jeanine Pirro comes to an inner city neighborhood, and you can see the mixing of the incomes and things like that. Yeah, there is they don't want to stop people from destroying. You can definitely say that. That is very interesting though. It was just letting her know that they're going to point. They're going to point the finger at her either way it goes. That is for sure. So if she arrests him, they're going to point the finger. If she does arrest him, they're going to point the finger. And they're going to do their best to intimidate the officers while doing all that shit. That is probably the most amazing part,
Exactly.
It is. It's kind of interesting. Right? It is kind of interesting. Man, man, did you see the thumbnail to this show right here? Anyway, I saw someone wrote a comment in Stanley's chat, and he says, see, I can't remember exact words, but he said, CT, he's putting on an act, and I'm not saying I agree with him, I'm just telling you verbatim what he says. And he says, and he's saying this more or less as a criticism. Let me pull it up, because I don't want to read it, because I don't even want to think I'm criticizing anyone here. Where is that thumbnail?
Did Stanley finally go live? Because last time I looked over there, he was supposed to have a show this morning, but he never showed up. I think he's getting people are unsubscribing. from the asshole Stanley. And
maybe he went late last night or something. I'm not sure. I know he streamed yesterday. Man, I wish him the best. But man, he really is. He's like the man in that meeting there, just misbehaving to the point. Oh, yo, let me show you this. Shit, I meant to show you this.
Well, he was going rogue on you, John, trying to destroy your channel while you're allowing him to be a super mod.
Accused of pulling charged as an adult and is expected to appear before
this shit turns crazy real quick. Listen.
An adult and is expected to appear before a judge tomorrow. And as we speak, that firefighter is recovering from a gunshot wound to the chest. In fact, that bullet is still inside his body because doctors say it is just too risky to remove. Now, this first responder, highly critical of the 911 system that he says has failed him and the district. Arleana Golden has his message, and she also spoke with a witness who says she was approached by the suspect just moments after the shooting.
The bullet went and still in my shoulder.
When 42-year-old Zeke Jeklin was shot Saturday night by an armed robber,
He was going to kill me. I grabbed the barrel of the gun and I pushed it away. And as I did, he pulled the trigger.
he called 911 and waited 3 minutes only for no one to pick up. A serious problem in the Office of Unified Communications, or OUC. He knows
It's right around the corner from my house, brother.
all too well. Jeklin is a DC firefighter.
I see it firsthand every day when I'm at work. The delays, the miscommunication, the wrong addresses, the wrong information when you're going to a run.
Jesus Christ, these people are killing people in the streets, and then when you call the 911, they kill your ass by not even
Luckily,
asking.
it was his coworkers at Fire Station 18 he called next who came to his rescue. And while he waited for help, his alleged shooter played victim down the block.
He had apparently shot himself in the hand when he shot me.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Hey, John Gala, I wonder what it pays to be a paramedic in D.C.
Oh, man.
Gotta be a lot of money.
Yeah.
He told me that somebody tried to rob him and that he tried to get the gun away and got shot.
Witness Chelsea Haslip had no idea she'd gotten a totally different story.
As we started hearing sirens, he started to panic a little bit.
This case is another example of juveniles with a gun who are going after the law-abiding citizens in this district.
DC's top prosecutor, Jeanine Pirro, says under DC law, aggravated assault is the most severe charge the 17-year-old suspect can face. The same kid who, by the way, also asked his victim for help.
Man, these people out here ruthless, man. Shot the man in the chest and like, yo, can you help me? Fucking ruthless.
He came running back about 20 seconds later saying that he was shot and needed help from me. I think that shows that these juveniles run around there with
You can't say the word, people. You can't say the word.
guns thinking they're big, bad, tough guys are just little babies. And they need to check their decisions in this world.
Now, the suspect is expected in court here in downtown D.C. Tuesday afternoon. Pirro says he could face at least 5 years in prison. OUC, meantime, told us there was a spike in calls around the same time Zeke was shot. So we're following up, asking about staff numbers Saturday night. We will keep you posted when we get an answer.
I think she had very charged.
Well, just as we say that, here she comes, Jeanine Pirro, U.S. Attorney in District of
Shortly after 10 p.m. this past Saturday night, an off-duty firefighter was on his way home. He is someone who worked with Engine 18. He was a father of 2. And at that time, a 17-year-old approached him with a gun. He tried to rob him. He pulled out the gun and said, "Give me your phone." According to the victim gave him the phone and everything that he had in his hands. At that point, the robber, a 17-year-old, gave the phone back to the victim and said, "I need you to unlock something." And obviously what the defendant wanted was access to what was in the phone and all of the benefits that come from that. It was at that point that the defendant put the gun to the chest of the off-duty firefighter, and the firefighter tried to grab the barrel of the gun, and at that point the defendant pulled the trigger and the firefighter was shot in the chest. He started at that point to bleed out heavily, and it's our understanding that the 17-year-old was shot in the hand at about the same time. That 17-year-old is now in custody thanks to the work of the Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI, and we have the ADIC in charge who'll speak to you in a few minutes. Now, that case, or this case, is another example of juveniles with a gun who are going after the law-abiding citizens in this district. It is another example of why President Trump is moving to make sure that these defendants and that these young punks are being brought into the criminal justice system so that we have access to them, so that we get a criminal record, and so that we are able to identify them as the violent punks that they are. Now, this male, this 17-year-old, today stands charged with armed robbery while possessing a firearm in violation of 22 D.C.
You know, this is why I mentioned that a long time ago. That is definitely correct there. There's no other way places to sell them but to the corner stores here. And the corner store people sell them here. The firefighter survived because luckily he was a firefighter. And he called some of his firefighter buddies like, "Yo, I just got shot here." I think that's what they said here. But their 911 did not answer the phone.
Code, Section 4504. He is also charged with the possession of a firearm during a crime of violence, and he is charged with aggravated assault while armed. This case is going to be prosecuted in the D.C. Superior Court, where there is a mandatory minimum for these charges of 5 years. And as we speak now, the defendant is being presented in the Superior Court. Now, this is a very sad commentary on what's gone on. As a result of the surge, we have seen a reduction in violent crime, but we are continuing to see innocent Washingtonians in a situation where they're being approached by young kids with illegal guns who have no concerns about their accountability. And it is a reminder of why the president has decided to put additional resources into making D.C. safe for the people who live, work, and visit here. Now, these out-of-control juveniles who think nothing of illegally possessing a weapon and holding up individuals are now going to find that they will be made accountable, that there will be consequences, and there will be no more coddling of young criminals. This is why we fight. This is why we prosecute, and this is why the president is making safety a priority in the district. Now, I'm going to call upon the ADIC in charge, the assistant director in charge of the FBI, Darren Cox. He is in charge of the
I'm the assistant director in charge of the Washington field office. First off, I'd like to thank you and your office for being so aggressive on charging violent criminals here in D.C. and making the streets safe. Also, to our partners, thank you for the partnership, our federal partners, and the Metropolitan Police Department for being aggressive in apprehending the subject. FBI agents, along with federal partners and MPD, aggressively apprehended the subject, took him into custody, and also participated in a number of interviews.
Okay, thank you. And I'd also like to call upon Dave Hoagland, who is the president of IFF Local 36, who represents all the firefighters, both active and retired in D.C. Go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, Judge Pirro. I just want to thank you for chasing down this incident that happened over the weekend to take care of firefighter Jeanine. He's a committed public servant who on and off duty serves the district and lives and resides in the district. And we appreciate your commitment to making sure that our responders are kept safe both on and off the job.
All right, thank you. All right, any questions?
Your plan to upgrade charges here? I know that was what was asked. Charged with attempted robbery, right?
Yeah. I have upgraded the charges. It is now armed robbery.
Ooh.
And that's why I was so clear in describing. He handed over the phone and everything else that was in his hands.
Oh, shit.
So that is a completed as opposed to an attempted. And it's an armed robbery, which under Title 16, we have authority over 16 and 17-year-olds who commit armed completed robberies. Now, what I think is important to note is
So this is what she was talking about in the community meeting. Had he not gotten the armed robbery or something, she wouldn't have been able to charge him with like attempted armed robbery. Yeah, he shot a firefighter. The man was coming home from work, and the man said, "Look, he was about to shoot me." So I moved the gun and moved the gun. And he hit me in the chest, and he calls 911, and 911 is a joke in this town. 911 is right around the corner from me. One day I'll ride around there and show it to you. It's right next to the homeless shelter. So you imagine what kind of people. And maybe I'll do a stream on that shit.
Yeah, we're having a whole new 911 center built in Soldotna.
Maybe I'll do a stream on 911.
Yeah, brand new, gonna have state-of-the-art everything, Sean Go.
And so here's the young boy. He went back to the robber victim and said, "Yo, man, can you help me out?"
Is that we need to lower the age. We need to make sure that we get a net of all of those violent individuals, young ones who, who feel nothing or no consequences when they get an illegal gun and decide to use it. So, but there are also additional charges, as I stated.
Can you upgrade this to attempted murder? I think a lot of people are wondering that as well.
Well, the aggravated assault while armed is probably the most serious we could do. Attempted murder is not covered under Title 16. Murder is covered under Title 16. Armed robbery is covered under Title 16. Berg 1 and rape.
Okay. So what she's explaining here, what did she say? Attempted murder is not. What? Man, let me get her to repeat this.
Murder is not covered under Title 16. Murder is covered under attempted while armed is probably the most serious we could do. Attempted murder is not covered under Title 16.
Okay, so that's what she's saying. If he had murdered the man, he would have gone to juvenile. She wouldn't have been able to touch him. But she's saying by the fact that he didn't murder him, I can put my hands on him. And so that whatever it is.
Murder is covered under Title 16. Armed robbery is covered under Title 16. Berg 1 and rape. Okay, those are the four.
And he didn't. What did she say? I think I missed it.
I think a lot of people are wondering that as well.
Well, the aggravated assault while armed is probably the most serious we could do. Attempted murder is not covered under Title 16.
Okay, so attempted murder, she wouldn't be able to charge him. That's why she didn't charge him with attempted murder. He'd go to juvenile.
Murder is covered under Title 6.
So if he had killed a man, she could have covered him, charged him.
Armed robbery is covered under Title 6.
He robbed a man. That's what she said.
John, so if you just try to kill him, then it's not a big deal, right?
Yeah, he go to juvenile.
Because it's not murder.
And she doesn't have jurisdiction, is what she's saying. I don't have jurisdiction over attempted murder, only.
Oh, no, I think attempted murder should be covered under Title 16 because you don't get to terrorize people like that and just get away with it.
Right. And she's saying, I don't need to do it. Yeah. And if he had killed him, if he'd been lucky enough to kill him, then, or unlucky enough to kill him, depending on your point of view, they would have had a chance at
Steenberg 1 and rape. Okay, those are the 4. Okay.
The issue was also that it took a long time for him to get in contact with 911. He actually had to call his fellow firefighters to come help him. That's a continuing problem in the district.
So if that would have been anyone else, you probably would have died. He called fellow firefighters from his phone, and he knew what to do. 911 did not answer his phone.
It also creates issues in your office, I imagine. Has this office considered asking the president to reroute some of those National Guard and surge resources to helping with 911 and OEC?
Well, what I have done is I've spoken with Mayor Bowser, and we are analyzing this situation and the call, what time it came in, how long it took to get the response out, and we are very coordinated. And if we think that there is additional help that's needed, we will certainly ask for it. But right now, we're working with the mayor, and she's been very responsive. And it looks right now like it was pretty good. What you've got is the victim, who clearly made a phone call, then asked the neighbor to make a phone call. In the meantime, there was help coming out. So we're on it, but right now we're not ready to say anything beyond that.
Do you think you can get 5 years, or would this person be released from juvenile when they turn?
You are so smart. It's called the Youth Rehabilitation Act, also known as the YRA, which means that if you're under the age of 25 and you go to district court and there's a mandatory minimum
You hear that? 25.
of 5 years and you shoot someone with a gun, as someone did not that long ago on a bus, and you shoot him in the chest, which is very much like this. The judge decided, I'm going to give you YRA and I'm not going to give you the mandatory minimum. And that's why we have to change the law. That's why it has to be changed. Right now, the judge has that power. And we don't want that to be the case in D.C. We want them to be accountable. You shoot somebody.
So what she's saying here is, if he hadn't robbed that man, there's nothing she could do. Nothing she could do. Luckily, she said he completed the robbery act. And so that's why, the ag assault as well. I think that's one of the crimes.
Aggravated assault. That's a big one, John.
Right. That's the biggest charge, but she couldn't get, whatever the one she said wasn't included. There's only 4 of them, I think. Whatever.
Right, you are in the midst of an armed robbery, a violent crime with an illegal gun. This guy's got a bullet in his chest. I don't think a judge should be able to say, I'm going to ignore the mandatory minimum.
Separately, on another case, this Ms. Ferrer, who the State Department official who embezzled over $650,000 recently, 12 months. I think the prosecution was looking for 18 months. Are you satisfied with that conviction and with that sentence?
Well, look, in a case like this, I only get involved with criticizing judges when I am exercised about the case. The judge issued a 12-month sentence and a 3-year supervised release, and the victim, the defendant in this case, has to pay $657,000 back. Now, what I love about this case, and you can do with the information whatever you want, is we have this person who admitted that she abused her signature authority over the State Department checking account by writing 60 checks over a 2-year period payable to herself. But then what she did is she went into QuickBooks real fast and changed the name of the payee. So when they looked at the QuickBooks, it looked perfectly fine. So the judge, realizing that she has a problem, which to me is not an excuse, okay, she's got a problem going to the casinos. So the judge says to her, I'm going to set a release condition. And the release condition is you do not go to the casinos, i.e. you're a gambler, okay? The same day she pled guilty, guess where she goes? She goes to the MGM National Harbor Casino. So I'm not real sure that this woman is going to follow the judge's instructions. So who knows when she might be called back for a resentence or a violation of probation. So hope springs eternal. Get it? Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Anything? Oh, Hoagland.
You went right back to the casino, John.
How relieved you are that he was able to get help from his fellow firefighters.
Yeah, I was at the hospital with him till late Saturday night, along with members of his company, Truck 7 and Engine 18. They were the same members who responded to help him, along with one of our medic units. So I think he's home recovering with his family. Everybody's very happy that he's safe and he's well. They actually left the bullet in him because they would have done more damage taking it out. But I think we're all breathing a sigh of relief that this wasn't worse.
Judge Pirro, DC crime statistics show an uptick in crime since the takeover ended, the 30 days. How confident are you that DC police have this?
Do we know that? Do we know that?
Heard it here first.
Okay. I don't know that that's the case, but what I can tell you is the president's crime surge in D.C. made an incredible difference. I mean, in terms of robberies, carjackings, violent crime, homicides down 53%. I think it's the best thing that's happened to this district. What does it tell you?
Well, that could be a conversation over coffee. I'm not the U.S. attorney here.
Look,
he's laughing at him, John.
I don't know yet. I haven't seen the numbers. I don't know if that's something that I can conclude. You think I can read that without my glasses? Oh, wait a minute. It went down this week. Where'd you get your numbers? Stop it.
That's from the 15th.
This is
From the 15th.
And today is
The 22nd. We haven't gotten anything more.
yeah. Last week it continued to go down. All right.
Can I just ask how you happened to be there Saturday night? Was this part of the extended cooperation, or were you there for a specific operation?
Sure, this is part of the surge on DC, and we have agents that are out every night working with federal and MPD partners, and we happen to be there, and we responded aggressively, just like Director Patel has said. The FBI is working to crush violent crime, and we are crushing violent crime, and we have agents out on the street every night working to do that.
All right. Let's go.
There's some reports that those agents out on the street at night are detracting from some of their previous work on both national security and white collar criminal investigations. Any response to that?
I don't want to respond to that.
That you know?
It would be I can't. I'm not allowed. So why?
Mayor Bowser, do you know her opinion on the appeals you want to make to the Youth Rehabilitation Act?
Yes, and we have had great discussions with the mayor about the changes that we all need to make DC safe again. And and we continue to work with the mayor's office and with Leslie Apia and her council. Look, we all want to make DC safe, and I think the more we work together, the more we could do it. That's why the president, that's why the Attorney General Bondi, that's why everyone is involved in this. And there is this continuing cooperative engagement by the feds in the district, which I think is important.
Judge, your office continues to lose prosecutors, and that's in addition to the 90 or so that you were down from the beginning, including from high-profile cases like the Jewish Capitol Museum shooting.
Yeah.
I know you brought in resources, but your office is still continuing to bleed prosecutors.
Mhm.
What are you doing about that, and what effect is it having on not just high-profile cases, but everyday cases?
Well, first of all, if you know anybody who wants to work here, you should give me their resume. That's number one. But number two is, look, we continue to try to get the best people we can in the office. And it's not unusual for people to leave a prosecutor's office. They get their experience and then they go out into the private sector and they make a lot of money. And this is it's a very big and important office. And I'm not surprised that people would leave this office to go on to other things. They have
More than likely, they left her office because they didn't want to work for her. These were liberal people, more than likely been staffing in her office. They left when she arrived. Probably went to other government agencies. They didn't go into private practice. Not all of them. That's how it works there.
families. They have kids that are to add private events.
It's not an easy market in the private sector, especially in law firms, right?
Well, with good people, it is. With good people, it is. All right, everybody. Thank you.
And that's Jeanine Pirro, and she spoke about a lady who stole some money from New York, from the State Department or something like that. And I think this is it right here. This is who she was speaking of.
Analyst guilty of embezzling over $650,000. Levita Olmwede Ferrer, a former State Department analyst, faces.
Damn, this just got music on it. But anyway, so this lady wrote a bunch of checks to herself for like $650,000. Here it is right here. And she somehow was released from jail and went straight to the casino. And she had a gambling problem. And as Pirro said, she was released from jail and went straight to the casino after the judge told her not to. And so that is what Jeanine Pirro is up against there. And so anyway, guys, we've been going in there for 9 hours here. I am John Gall here. 12th man left me so I'm all alone. John Gall stands alone here. Pam Bundy is corrupt, man. Go back to the conservative treehouse. You read about how she prosecuted Zimmerman because of the Marissa. Let me share that with you. I've been referencing the conservative treehouse all day today, and I'll share that with you. Conservative treehouse. Hey, Herman, by the way, I hear the National Guard is coming to Memphis. Marissa Pam Bundy. And you'll see that here. See if it'll come up. I'm sure something will come up. Maybe not. No, it's coming. Yeah. Close that. But maybe it wasn't Marissa. Maybe it was I don't think I Pam Bundy. And what's the other lady's name? Angela Corey. I should have put a space in it. Angela Corey. If you're really interested in finding more about Pam Bundy, you'll see this is one of the articles that comes up, The Deep Swamp Smiles. And you see the picture that comes up here is George Zimmerman. And they say the nomination of Pam Bundy for the position is a big mistake, not for the corrupt background of her, but rather from the background of Bundy. And you see the picture of Zimmerman. And they talked about, at some point, if you follow the story around the Trayvon Martin shooting and the subsequent arrest, jail, and trial of George Zimmerman, you probably know the majority of what Pamela Bundy did. She was the AG at the time. However, it was almost 12 years ago now. So for those who don't remember, here's the story. On the evening of Trayvon shot George Zimmerman, and we all know those facts. I'm not going to go through that. After a thorough investigation, all of the statements by George Zimmerman were corroborated by the eyewitnesses, the forensic evidence, the audio recording. The audio recordings when they brought Trayvon's father into the police station let him hear someone screaming for help. And he said, "That's not my son," which you must deduce it was George Zimmerman screaming, which is also what the witness said. And all the physical evidence counted the same. It was at this point Detective Sereno gave his investigative report to the police chief, Lee, along with the recommendation that Zimmerman's claim of self-defense was valid and justified. Sereno and Lee then consulted with prosecutor Norm Wolfinger, who reviewed the evidence and agreed. Fast forward, this is how Zimmerman looked when he was arrested that night. This is him, I think, in the police car. I'm pretty sure that's Zimmerman in the police car there. He has a broken nose, as you can see that here, and bloody lip, and he also had blood in the back of his head. Essentially, Zimmerman was looking for Trayvon, who appeared from the bushes. That's what witness number one said, punched Zimmerman in the face. And then the fight went down the sidewalk to where they ended up on the ground. Witness number two said that. After Zimmerman was screaming for help, getting his head slamming into the concrete, that's when he shot Trayvon. All witnesses and evidence, Trayvon's shirt, everything corroborated what Trayvon had said to the police. Sereno had the responsibility to tell Trayvon's father, Tracy Martin, his findings from an investigation. He played the audio from the call as part of his explanation to Trayvon's father and his girlfriend, Brandon Green, having just ended a relationship with Alicia Stanley, essentially the only mother Trayvon had ever known. Brandon Green enters the picture with Tracy Martin. Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon's mother, was presented as Trayvon's mother later on. However, Trayvon had not lived with his mother for almost 10 years. Most people don't know that. Alicia Stanley was Trayvon Martin's rock, according to this, and now she was out of the picture. All this is not pertinent to the Pam Bundy here. Anyway, Pam Bundy comes in here, having worked previously with Pam Bundy in the Martin Lee Anderson case. Crump called the new Florida Attorney General Bundy for support. The detective sided with Zimmerman. The police chief, Bill Lee, agreed with Serino, the detective, and the evidence. The local prosecutor refused to bring a charge against Zimmerman. Here's Angela Corey here to the, that'll be to Pam Bundy's right. That's Angela Corey there. This is Pam Bundy here. Enter Pam Bundy, who told Florida governor a special prosecutor was needed to prosecute George Zimmerman, and she appointed Angela Corey. Police Chief Lee was removed from authority, and then the local prosecutor was removed. Eventually, lead detective also was removed. No prosecutor in Florida wanted to touch the case because the evidence against Zimmerman did not exist. However, Bundy replaced the Sanford officials with state investigators working for a new special prosecutor, Angela Corey, out of Jacksonville. Angela Corey was Pam Bundy's campaign manager. Martin family attorney Benjamin Crump and Darrell Parks began their PR campaign. Pam Bundy was part of that fraudulent prosecution architecture. In fact, without her origination, the state case against Zimmerman was non-existent. Everything told about the Trayvon Martin shooting was a lie, including his age, the Skittles and iced tea story, his background criminal record, Trayvon's known drug use, and just about everything else. It was all entirely manufactured lawfare case pushed to a compliant media. None of the witness statements were ever in the media. None of the 911 call evidence was ever in the media. None of the images of George Zimmerman's face and head were ever in the media. And on it went there. The state prosecutors in Ben Crump claimed there was an ear witness, Dee Dee, the girlfriend, witness number 8 at trial, a mysterious Trayvon Martin girlfriend witness they refused to identify, but swore she heard Zimmerman threatening and attacking Trayvon Martin. This is her on the stand testifying for the prosecution. At the trial, you saw witness 8, they called Rachel, as the one that said, "That's retarded, sir." And this was the state's star prosecution witness used to construct the cases against Zimmerman, that she was protected and isolated until the very last second when she was called to the stand at trial. That means they were not able to do any investigation on her, Trayvon, by the fact that they said she was a minor. And Trayvon Martin's phone, the phone that she supposedly was talking to that night, was hidden from the defense. Except that was an immediate problem. Jeanette Jantel was never an ear witness. She never was Trayvon's girlfriend. She only had cursory knowledge of Trayvon when he visited their neighborhood. And she never authored the supposed statement. You remember in trial, she said, "I can't read." Everything was fabricated by her and Angela Corey. They literally put a fabricated witness on the stand. Bundy knew all about it. And that was the way that they used Pam Bundy to prosecute Zimmerman. Bundy would have known that George Zimmerman was innocent, yet she went ahead and allowed this man to be prosecuted. And the reason why she went ahead and allowed this man to be prosecuted is because that woman, again, she had prosecuted a black woman. And she was running for office. What was the lady's name? Angela Corey. Angela Corey, and the lady's name was Milton. Was it Milton? No, it was named Marissa, though. And Angela Corey prosecuted Marissa. Well, whatever. I can't find it. But anyway, Angela Corey prosecuted a lady that claimed, she claimed stand your ground. She had shot in the house toward her husband, and it didn't stand up, and she got about 10 years in prison. And what was that lady's name? They got about 10 years in prison. Marissa, her name is Marissa shot at husband. Florida. Marissa Alexander. That's right. And she was prosecuted by Angela Corey. Yes. Yep. Yep. You see here. Angela Corey. She prosecuted Marissa Alexander. And yeah, I want to go here now. 1 second here. Marissa Alexander. That was her name. And you'll see what? International? I know they have articles about that, but anyway, there were articles about that. You can find it here. Maybe I didn't spell her name properly, but anyway, very interesting. The Trayvon Martin was a very interesting case. So when I saw Pam Bundy being appointed by Trump, I said, wow, the deep swamp, deep state. It was real deep. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining. We have, how many likes do we have? 40 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. And thank you for everyone that sends super chats and cash apps in any ways. Herman, all you guys, you make it easier for me to get up here every day. Pulsar Echo, I think Pulsar is a new subscriber there. Big time, Richard, my man Richard. Hey, Richard, Richard, is Richard still here? I had a question. I want to run something past you here. If you're still here before I get out of here. A thought I had. Is Richard still here? Richard, if you're still here, let me know. Fucking allergies, bro. Yo, Richard, if you're still here, so I maybe having an interview. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to take it or not, or I don't want to go into the office every day. But I may have an interview with the Federal Reserve coming up. So I showed the job description. And anyway, damn, my buddy Philippe called me. Hey, yo, what's up, Philippe? You know when John got here?
Hey, I'm not in the
area where okay, yeah, you just called me, so I said, let me hit you back.
Want to catch up later?
Yeah, hit me back later. Yeah, hit me back later. All right, so Philippe is about to be working at, he just had NVIDIA to reach out to him Pulsar, yeah. Glad you're over here, man. I was talking to CT on the phone yesterday. Anyway, so I was reaching out to NVIDIA reached out to him. So he was telling me he possibly has a job interview with NVIDIA. He develops AI data centers. So he sent me over his job description. I figured I would share it with you guys so you can see some of the soft skills necessary to work in that sector. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, he was up on the phone talking about what it takes to work in that sector. So I thought that was interesting. And so I figured we would do a little bit more of that if you guys find it interesting, maybe a little looking at job descriptions of companies like that to see, what they're asking for. If you think that's interesting, you let me know. Anyway, you think that's good? What do you think? You think that's interesting? I'll give you a few seconds to let me know. But anyway, so this is some of the things we're thinking about there, looking at job descriptions. I showed the job description from the Federal Reserve. So I think it'll be interesting. Either way it goes, guys, thank you for joining. Leave a comment in the chat, leave a comment if you have some thoughts about that, looking at job descriptions and, analyzing those. Questions to ponder. She likes that. Anyway, thank you for joining. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. This nigga has a motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast. I am the nigga John. High ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about belief. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk. Can't talk. Golden never faded, but we still feel the rock. There used to be kings, now they lost in the scheme. Popping than bottles, throwing money, living dreams. Now they zoned out and mumbling, bumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no folks on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted the back in the day. The rock had a violent freak. Different story now, they got no energy. New trucks got them slow with the hit unload. Out close and they don't dance no more. Rock used to be jumping, top shit they was on. Now it's lights out, guess the thrill is gone.
I am a nigga. I bring it to you rough, rugged, and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the codeine. Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene. Even dancing in the rain. Now they nodding off. Shit just don't get the same.
I am that nigga.